begathon where tip me and do this and do that. We're not doing that. It's business as usual here on DSP Gaming. We play games, we have fun. If you guys like it, you support it. The week is going slow, tough through it. So how are you doing? This is how I'm doing. Tips very low now, but I've noticed tips very low right now. The week is going slow, it gets to me. My life is ruined, this is how I'm doing. The losers out there who thinks that they know shit, kiss my fucking ass and eat my right now. A full podcast booked, full gameplay streams booked, everything's booked. Everything's booked. Can't do anything crazy. And I don't even have enough to buy groceries. It sucks. The week is going slow, tough through it. So how are you doing? This is how I'm doing. Tips very low now, but I've noticed tips very low right now. The week is going slow, it gets to me. My life is ruined, this is how I'm doing. The losers out there who thinks that they know shit, kiss my fucking ass and eat my right now. So how are you doing? This is how I'm doing. So how are you doing? This is how I'm doing. So how are you doing? This is how I'm doing. So how are you doing? This is how I'm doing. Hey stupid, I have depression, you dumb fuck. I actually have it. I know what it feels like, alright? So, if you disappeared today, no one would care. I have depression. I know what it feels like. I actually have it, you dumb fuck. I know what it feels like. Slow day, all day, I'm depressed. Record low views, thumbs down, I'm depressed. I have depression. I have depression. Whale tail, I'm drinking and I'm thinking, but I have this nagging in the back of my head that's telling me you're a loser. You have no power over anyone on this planet. You're the epitome of a waste of life. Hey stupid, I have depression. I know what it feels like. I actually have it, you dumb fuck. I know what it feels like. Slow day, all day, I'm depressed. Record low views, thumbs down, I'm depressed. I have depression. I have depression. I have depression. I know what it feels like. I actually have it, you dumb fuck. I know what it feels like. Slow day, all day, I'm depressed. Record low views, thumbs down, I'm depressed. I have depression. Depression. Fuck, you stupid loser. You think you know anything about anything in real fucking life? You know nothing. Meerkat Mom.
The stupid, the banana song from Donkey Kong 64. Listen, I'm not mentally stunted. I don't know what you're referencing, stupid. No one understands your memes because they're dumb. They're for dumb children, mouth droolers, you fucking morons. Meerkat Mom stole that shit. I want banana, tasty banana. Put it in your mouth and squeeze. Put it in your mouth and squeeze. I want banana, tasty banana. Put it in your mouth and squeeze. Put it in your mouth and squeeze. It comes in denim. It comes in denim. It comes in denim. It comes in denim. Denim, what do bananas have to do with denim?
I'm up here. You're down here. I can't hear you. You're below me. Because I'm not on your level.
It comes in
People
denim.
are so crazy, like obsessive,
It comes in
weird,
denim.
hyperfixated, autistic.
It comes in denim. It comes in denim. I want banana, tasty banana. Put it in your mouth and squeeze. Put it in your mouth and squeeze. I want banana, tasty banana. Put it in your mouth and squeeze. Put it in your mouth and squeeze. It comes in denim.
Putting the lyrics in my chat right now.
It comes in
Okay, it's like,
denim.
what the fuck? They're actually that nuts.
It comes in denim.
Hello, thank you all for coming back to the Saturday morning style Atlas stream, where I thought I was going to have more to do today outside of this, but it's actually not true. I have more here. There was so much seething about the Banana Song, and not the new one that you just heard by the one and only Meerkat Mob, which I really fuck with that version personally. But there is so much seething about the Banana Song this week. I'm actually in disbelief. I didn't even talk about it last week. When I came back, I thought it was, once again, I thought it was a nothing burger. It was a one-off where he complained about a song that's been out and memed about for years at this point. I thought it was a one and done. But lo and behold, he just couldn't let it go. I don't know what it is with his brain over the past week, but this song is eating him alive for no reason. Meerkat really is the GOAT. It's immaculate. Before we even get to any of that, because obviously that's where all the real fun is, we have to sit through our very tumultuous and very important business style meetings. Because what is DSP without his business meetings? And this week, he has decided that we're gonna reformat an old plan that we actually just got rid of in the form of whales. Now, you guys might not have heard of this, but whales might be the best idea for his business. And
So,
he's going to explain it here. It's a whole.
I got an
it's a
interesting
whole
comment
thing.
last night on a video. All right, and what I would like to do is address it because I
Oh,
think
Skelly Man updates. We're working on the truck. And I started playing Path of Exile 2 again, so that's eating up a bunch of my time in a way that I would really prefer that it didn't. But I'm having a lot of fun, and I picked goddamn Mercenary and Sorceress again, even though I should have picked one of the newer classes, like the Druid.
pretty insightful. All right. So this week,
But I
what's
didn't.
been going
Everybody
on?
else picked
If you
the
remember, I
Druid,
came back
or
on
what is
Sunday
the
for
other
my
one?
day off, Valentine's Day, and we did a day of Hollow Knight and RimWorld. Went great, right? Now, admittedly, when I play both,
I haven't been playing RimWorld, unlike the guy. I really wish I was, but they keep dropping mechs on my fucking tiles, and I don't know why it's always mechs, but I just can't do it. They're too powerful.
Hollow Knight and RimWorld, I don't get a ton of viewers. With Hollow Knight, we roughly get around 200 on YouTube and maybe like, I don't know, 80 on Kick. When I play RimWorld,
That's normal DSP gameplay, though. 200 viewers and 8 on Kick is
I'm a god.
totally
How
normal
can you kill a god?
DSP style
A
gameplay.
grand and intoxicating innocence.
And thank you so much, Robert Williams, for the 24 months. This was earlier. I'm so sorry I forgot this. The whole beginning is a mess. You say, big ups to another stream. Hope the week has been well for you. It's been all right. It's been all right. I hope your week has been the same. And Poper Lives, 34 links, 54 for the 16 months, saying bug ups. Well, bug ups to you too. Appreciate you.
it's even less. Like usually we have less than 200 on YouTube and probably again, like maybe like 70, 80 on Kick. So not even bringing in
love a good
300
bug
viewers,
ups.
you'd say, oh, those aren't very popular streams. But here's the truth about Hollow Knight and RimWorld. These are games that have dedicated fan bases. These are
Right.
games that for years people kind of said, gee, I hope Phil one day will, branch out from only covering
the mainstream stuff that he usually does, and maybe one day he'll play smaller games, lesser known games, etc. Right?
Which he fought back against for ages. It was pulling teeth to get DSP to play anything that wasn't from Call of Duty, from Activision, from EA, from Ubisoft. It was entirely his own prerogative to do that when everybody was screaming for years for him to do anything else. Play one of the most popular games of all time, Minecraft, for fuck's sake.
Not to say that they're less.
Oh yeah, and From Software. We only play From Software style games around here.
In regards to like, no one knows what they are, but they definitely don't have that AAA appeal. They don't get the mainstream coverage. People aren't promoting them. They're just saying, hey, buy this game. You know what I'm saying? But in their own right, both the Hollow Knight franchise and RimWorld have huge fan bases. I mean, RimWorld's been around over 12 years, and I didn't even know about it until last year because people finally brought it up and started asking me to check it out, right?
And I'm pretty sure all of the people that were even bringing it up to ask him to play RimWorld were detractors and trolls at first. I don't actually know any, or I couldn't think of any regular DSP viewers that were genuinely asking for him to play RimWorld. It was purely a meme because people wanted him to actually play an engaging game on the trolling and detractor side. I swear.
So, in regard
RimWorld is older than Atlas. True.
to these games, the thing that happens is I just don't get a lot of attendance on the streams. But what happens is I get a lot of engagement, meaning the people that are there and like the games interact with me a ton, right? And that's a good thing. They're giving me advice. They're letting me know about secrets and things that I normally wouldn't have found. They're helping me to understand the big complexities of said games, like with RimWorld. If you guys
this kind of sounds like Baldur's Gate 3 to me, though, doesn't it? Or like, doesn't it to you? This is the exact same thing. There's a couple, there's not, the attendance is down. There's a couple of people that are bankrolling the whole thing, and the chat is holding his hand and telling him where all of the things are so he can actually understand the mechanics. He's just repitching an idea he's already gotten rid of and claims was way more negative than the way that he's been operating now. He's just doing it again.
hadn't helped me to understand RimWorld.
Yeah, the difference is he hated Baldur's Gate 3, so it was bad for the channel.
Right?
But RimWorld is good, you guys, I swear.
I never would have been able to get as far as I've gotten here. I certainly would have 6 survivors surviving and almost up to 8 in my group now. I never would have done half the stuff because you guys are guiding me through to understand this very, very deep, complex game. I've described it like an onion, where on the outside, it just looks like it's a basic thing. But as you start to peel back the layers, you realize, oh my God, there's another layer and another layer. There's so much to this game. It's
always an onion.
And you wouldn't expect that from a game that, quite frankly, looks like RimWorld does. And a game that really, again, doesn't have a budget when it comes to...
And what does he fucking mean? A game that looks like RimWorld does? This just shows you how out of touch he is with video games. That this is something that pops up in his mind, as if games that have simpler graphic styles or have a more retro aesthetic can't be good simply because they look a little older or they're a little more minimalist. Like Prison Architect hasn't existed for ages. Terraria hasn't been one of the biggest games fucking ever with autistic people. Like, what? He just doesn't know anything about an industry that he's been in for like 18 fucking years at least. It's insane.
Support. It just doesn't. It was a small time game when it came out over a decade ago, right? So, in regards to both of these games, all right, I really like the streams, to be honest. Now, going hand in hand with the fact that these get tons of engagement when I play them, they also get a lot of support. These games have been staples of my schedule for about a month now.
Yeah, how could I forget Dwarf Fortress?
On some weeks when I'm taking chances playing a new indie game here or there, and I don't know if they're going to perform well, these games have actually been kind of the rock on which my content is based, because I know when I go back to them, I'm going to get that engagement and support, and it's going to help out if a week is maybe not performing as well as I'd hoped. So that was Sunday, okay? Then on Monday, I played Dragon Quest VII.
Uh-huh.
And once again, admittedly, I wish I could get more of a viewer base and a fan base and a following for JRPGs because I love them. I don't think it's ever going to happen at this point. I mean, I've tried my hardest to convince people to come by and hang out when I play them. I've tried to show you that I can make these streams interactive and fun even if you don't like the game.
But they're not, though. He always pitches it that way, but you know that they're not. His JRPG gameplay It is honestly the best sleep aid in the world because there is nothing happening. There was no interest. There was not really any excitement. It's just drivel the whole time with the same background music for large, extended periods of time because he spends so much time doing nothing. That's it. But
And-
he claims to love these games. He can make them interesting, but he doesn't have any facts. He doesn't really know anything about the games themselves.
It doesn't really work. To be honest, usually whenever I play a JRPG, we get lower attendance, lower engagement, and lower support. Dragon Quest VII, I feel like sadly will be this way the whole way, although I hope not. Like today, I would hope things would turn around. Maybe we'll get some more people to hang out and support Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. That would be great.
Very. Why did he do that? Wait a minute.
If you don't like the game, and it doesn't really work. To be honest, usually whenever I play a JRPG, we get lower attendance, lower engagement, and lower support. Dragon Quest VII, I feel like sadly will be this way the whole way, although I hope not. Like today, I would hope things would turn around. Maybe we'll get some more people to hang out and support Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. That would
Odd.
be great.
He's just
saying, but
it's fine.
you know,
Double down
it's
on
a
the
hope, but not a a realistic goal, I guess, because I just don't know how I can control that. If people have this this bias towards JRPGs on my channel, I can't really get you out of that bias. It's a preconceived notion, and people just are programmed.
The preconceived notion is that he's not good at making them interesting or entertaining. That's the only way he could break that preconceived notion is by doing exactly those things, which he's not capable. Like it's the truth. He's trying to break the truth.
To think these games are boring when I don't feel that they are. So it was Dragon Quest, and then it was Hellmart on the late stream, which we beat within like 20 minutes, which I wasn't expecting. I thought it was going to be at least an hour or more, and then it ended up being way shorter than expected. So we just kind of hung out for the rest of the night, but a lot of people were disappointed. They wanted more horror, and there wasn't time to start another game, so Monday night stream didn't do so well. Then we had Tuesday, all right, where the daytime stream.
Yeah, nothing's doing well but Baldur's Gate 3. But RimWorld. That's tough, dude. That's tough. I wonder if we've ever been in this situation before.
Excuse me, was my coverage of the Virtual Boy. And to be honest, I think that stream would have done a lot better if I actually could play the Virtual Boy on camera for you, except as we know, Nintendo has blocked that ability. So I flubbed it and did a bootleg thing. I think a lot of people enjoyed it, but it didn't.
He flubbed it? I thought, look, when we talked about it last week, he was very confident in the fact that he absolutely killed the Virtual Boy review that he did. The stream that he did was way better than the way that anybody else covered it because he had the best lighting and the best audio and the best angle. And anybody that was calling him out for that was an idiot, a knucklehead McSpazatron that hangs out in the fucking Yellow Bus Discord or whatever he was talking about this week. But now all of a sudden we flubbed it and it came out just okay. That's completely changing his story, which we'll see a lot of this week. Maybe that was the arc for DSP this week, is just going back on all of the confidence that we had on the stream previously and being really unsure.
A well-supported stream. And then on Tuesday night, it was Street Fighter 6. And for the first time since I brought back Street Fighter 6 over a month ago, the stream did not do great. It did good, but it didn't do great. So basically we had one day where I played games that don't necessarily bring in the views, but bring in engagement and support, and it was a very successful day. And then I had 2 days where things weren't bad, but things definitely slowed down a bit. And, I talked about this in my content, and you guys know that. I talk about this all the time, whether it's on the podcast, whether it's on the Daily Wrap or whatever it is, that these are the observations I'm making. So someone left a very insightful comment.
What an odd thing for a content creator to even acknowledge, though. And only in the DSP sphere, in the Snortex, the Vortex, whatever you want to call it, is it totally normal for a content creator to just be like, you guys know I tell you how good and bad I'm doing on my content all the time, and I tell you how I'm doing monetarily. Only here is that normal. If you just go watch other content, a non-lolcow content, it's far less, like it doesn't even exist. They just shove ads down your throat, obviously.
Overnight on one of my videos. I forget which one it was. It might have been the Daily Wrap, okay? And the comment was, the reason that you're finding success, despite the fact that you're not bringing in the views, is because you're now trying to play games that actually have dedicated, established fan bases, despite the fact that the games aren't necessarily big AAA. And the person made an interesting point. They said, if you had done this years ago, you likely would have been better off than where you are now. A lot of creators have found success honing in on these games that have these really dedicated viral fan bases. What do they call it? Like cult fan bases? There you go. That's the real word to describe it properly.
Of course, he had to go with cult because niche is not an option in his brain. It went straight to cult. It's almost like he's familiar with the with the way that cult works out as a term.
And they even brought up a couple games. They said, for example, you played games like Final Fantasy 16.
Also, I don't believe that this comment is real at all. By the way, just
16 and Starfield. And when you did, I just couldn't stop shaking my head. Like, why is Phil wasting his time playing these inferior games simply because they are considered AAA new releases? Like, because
I hope the idea would be that he wants to check it out. He wants to investigate the game and give it a try and give his honest review or whatever. I don't know why it just being a AAA game is what people think he's playing the game for. I mean, it's always been, of course, part of it. But I was hoping to some extent, if you actually enjoyed video games, this would be the case, that he would want to actually experience the game and find out that he's specifically in the position to do exactly that whenever he would want. That's what he tells us now. That's why it's okay that he buys every Assassin's Creed game or whatever the fuck Bethesda's putting out for the 9 millionth time. It's actually him that is supposed to tell you. That's why.
Time would be better spent playing games that people absolutely want to see me play long term because there are cult followers.
Yeah, and he's patting the shit out of his head. You guys are pointing it out in chat, and I haven't addressed it yet, but he will not stop touching the top of his head, just smearing his greasy pig hooves in there.
It's actually giving them a lot of satisfaction and pleasure to see me, someone who isn't used to these kinds of franchises, learning, adapting, and actually becoming immersed in these game worlds. And I started to think about what they said, and I was thinking to myself, you know, this kind of goes along with my philosophy this year.
Oh, imagine that. The comment that he decided to read and address and actually acknowledge is the one that agrees exactly with what he was already doing. It's always so funny how that works, that all of the best ideas he's already had. All you fucking plebeians can't keep up.
A lot of them are going to be smaller scale indie games, all right? And I think that the way of the future is to actually find the hidden gems rather than the big shiny thing that's presented to you as the best that in reality probably isn't. You know, we're talking about the Call of Duties. We're talking about the Assassin's Creeds, the games that you know they're going to come out either every year or every few years, and you can't really trust that they're going to be good anymore because these companies have just become money printing machines, or at least that's what they're attempting to do, is just get your money rather than present you with an artistic, meaningful product that then you will
an artistic, meaningful product
reward with money.
That you will then award with money. That's what DSP's making, obviously, as well. But he's presenting this as though this is some revolutionary idea, as though this is a brand new thought that nobody has ever heard of before. Nobody's ever considered this, and this has never been processed. Actually, at least a decade behind everybody else, as he's always been. With his capture cards, with the way that his setup was, with the RGB lights, is always 10 years behind, it seems. Because people have been complaining about the Call of Duty slop turnover year after year since before 2016.
You see, so many companies today are now, let's make a game as a product.
Yeah, he thinks he's cooking here.
And make money. Or let's have a game released as a games as a service deal so people will keep giving us a revenue stream. And then after the fact, make sure it's fun or whatever. Like, no, that's not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to create a game that's meaningful to the gamer, that is culturally relevant, that's something that resonates, that they want to play long term. And then once you've hooked that gamer, then they will reward you with sales, with games as a service support, with word of mouth to tell others to play said game. And I feel like a game like RimWorld, that's exactly what happened. Because I can't imagine that 12 years ago when RimWorld came out, looking like that and being a small budget game.
Once again, looking like that. Games coming out looking like that 10 fucking years ago, 12 fucking years ago were absolutely massive. If you were watching, even just watching video game content on YouTube at that time, people were playing those games and introducing them to you. Again, just showing you how out of touch he is in the very industry that he works in.
That it blew down doors. Everyone was like, oh my God. It was probably a game that word of mouth spread when people realized how complex this game actually was and how much was in it and how unique it really was of an experience with the way that the characters are uniquely generated. And they all have their own different traits and you can have different stories and things happening. And there's that, I like that idea. And I didn't really understand anything about that game when I started playing it. And now that we played it for a month, I'm like, wow, it really is an exciting experience every time I play it. because you never know what's going to happen. Something zany is going to happen or something unexpected. There's always a new challenge. There's always something new to overcome, but there's always something new to research or add and adopt to my gameplay style that makes the game more interesting. There hasn't been a single stream.
It's mechanically deep, mechanically complex, however you want to call it. And people have been crying for mechanically complex games for ages, and DSP's just now getting onto the scene.
Of RimWorld that's been boring, right? So it makes sense that
that's why Project Zomboid kicks ass, and that game's old as dirt too at this point. 13 old as dirt. I'm young, leave me alone. But like that game's also old as shit. Where was DSP then?
Well, how would you know that, right? And so I thought of this person's comment, and I'm like, yeah, I think what I need to do moving forward, all right, is yes, I'm going to cover the games that are big AAA releases that everyone's going to ask me for. So for example, of course I'm playing Resident Evil Requiem. Why wouldn't I play Resident Evil Requiem? That's a franchise. I've played every single installment of it that's been made available to me, both as a YouTuber and before I was a YouTuber. It's historic because it was really the genre that kicked survival horror into the mainstream. And everyone wants to know, is the game good? What's the plot? What do you think? How do you do at it? Etc. Right? Why wouldn't I play Resident Evil 9? I'd be a moron. At the same time,
I mean, if he wouldn't play it if he didn't want to play it, if he didn't think that the company was capable of making a game that he would be interested in and enjoy playing. That would be the reason. So we just pitched exactly what we were saying we weren't going to do. We were going to look for niche titles. We were going to look for non-AAA games. But here comes this AAA game, and his justification for playing it is everybody wants to know what I think about it and how I do at it. But nowhere in there did he say that he wanted to play it, at least not that I heard. There was no because the last one was so good, and I want to see what they do with this one. I think it'll be enjoyable. This looks interesting. Didn't say anything about that.
I don't think that I need to feel pressure that every big release that comes out, I have to play it. Notably, Neo 3. If you want to know the truth, I'm very happy I've skipped it. Really. Because I feel like it would have just been more industry schlock where I'm playing a game just for the sake of playing it. Does it really have meaning? Does the story matter? No. Is the gameplay really revolutionary or anything to write home about? No. But everyone's playing it right now because there's nothing else AAA out. That's why you're playing. It's the only reason they're playing.
How did he come to that conclusion? They're only playing it because it's the only thing AAA that came out. Now, I don't even think that that's true. But even if it was, you can't assume that. Maybe they like roll slop. That's their genre of choice. They love a good roll slop game. It's their specialty. There are people out there like that. They're probably the ones that are purchasing Neo 3 in mass quantities. If they exist, I don't know. Is Neo 3 good? I don't know anybody that's playing it. I don't know enough roll slop enjoyers. And I'm allowed to call it roll slop. I did get all of the achievements in Elden Ring. Yes, I was handheld, but I did it, goddammit. I was a part of the ride. Thank you, Smoke Jaguar, for the 5, saying, imagine DSP trying to play the ASCII version of Dwarf Fortress. He'd think it was a computer virus or something. I tried to play Dwarf Fortress like that, and even I fucking couldn't get it. I had to install the noob texture pack or whatever to have a good time. ASCII wasn't for me. I'm not that kind of autist, if I'm being honest with you. So I can't even give him shit about that, but he wouldn't make it. Yeah, his head would explode. I thank you, Crooked Hound, for the 5, saying lately his takes on developers make him sound like the way he thinks detractors talk about him. Unnecessary slander and criticism lacking merit. But that's always been the case, though. He had to stop telling game developers to actually kill themselves because he didn't like the game that he was playing currently. That sometimes was years old. So I'm not at all surprised that he is slandering and making criticism without merit.
Another game that was more notable was out. No one would even care about Neo 3, and they say, oh, don't play it. Skip it. You see? So I'm very happy that
back to Dwarf Fortress real quick. If you're into that type of thing, it is on Steam, and it's actually half decent. I really recommend Dwarf Fortress if you're a RimWorld enjoyer or a Kenshi enjoyer.
Basically, I'm skipping certain games, but I will play others. But what I think I really should do is I should start searching in all these indie games that are coming out for the hidden gems, the ones that look good or interesting that people are going to want to see.
Still waiting for DSP to play Kenshi.
Suggestions that you give me. Now, not every single one of them is going to.
He said he would. He put it on the board. I never seen him play it. I don't think it happened.
For example, for years people said play Mountain Blade Bannerlord. So finally, I played Mountain Blade Bannerlord 2 during my marathon. And to be honest, I didn't dislike the game at all. I just think for a slow-paced medieval combat game that also has a simulation aspect to it, I really don't know if it would work for my audience in these streams. But at least we tried it. Because for every Mountain Blade Bannerlord, there's going to be a RimWorld that absolutely has work, right? So I am excited for the future.
And it's crazy to me that he actually enjoyed, well, it's the money, obviously. But he picked RimWorld over Mountain Blade, considering Mountain Blade is actually an action game. It's a first and third person kingdom building simulator with actual combat that he could like do good and bad at. But okay,
Seriously, I am excited
RimWorld
for the
it
future.
is.
Reason being, my horizons have broadened. I'm not just looking at this narrow path forward at what's mainstream and what's everyone asking for because it's AAA and advertised. Instead, now I'm getting this wider appeal of people saying, hey, what about this game that people like that you probably never heard of? What about this game
RimWorld's closer
that has
to a walking
full fan
sim?
base,
True.
but you never would have
True.
touched? And I want to try those games. And the thing is, there's not going to be an overabundance of them, but I think that that list will grow over time. Okay? And I do think that's what I need to do is start listening to the audience better for the kind of games that you guys maybe have wanted to see me play and I've avoided, to at least give them a shot. I'm open to that now, you know? And I think that's, just think of it this way. If I didn't have Hollow Knight and RimWorld in my rotation right now, I would probably have no dependable games in the rotation of any expectation of who's going to show up, engage, and support them. And I actually wouldn't know how to go about things right now. I'd probably be like, oh no, I don't know what to do.
So we're resting our entire game or our entire business on two games that have smaller viewing attendance than some of the other games that he plays when he plays newer titles or he plays FPSs or whatever the fuck. Two games that have lesser audiences and have less people donating, but they're hitting the goal. Tell me how this isn't just having a small portion of whales. Tell me how this is the audience coming together as a collective and enjoying all of the content or whatever bullshit he's been pushing that he's been doing as of late as he gets away from his whales. Because that's all this is all over again.
You know, help me. But we're not. It's the opposite. Things are actually going quite good right now. So obviously I'm very happy for that. And I want to say thank you to those of you who have suggested these games, these maybe lesser known, not AAA budget style games, but you wanted to see me play them. Thank you for that. Thank you for not giving up, because a lot of people championed both
He should drop Dragon Quest. I agree.
Hollow Knight and RimWorld for a long time. And because you did, I finally got around to them. And now, as you can see, the success is apparent that these games are working well in my schedule and the playthroughs do well. And we have that engagement. Again, I'm not getting...
Dragon Quest is honestly, like, as far as I'm concerned now, is his, like a dragon pirate in Hawaii or whatever the fuck. Like, it's just the game that for some reason he's decided he really wants to play and is gonna try and bleed all of the other games of as much support as possible so that he can justify continuing it.
Giant attendance.
And it's just not a good idea.
Matter. You don't always
it's really
need to get
obnoxious.
giant attendance. It's not about numbers on a stream. That's what I'm trying to relay to Wings, and I don't think Wings gets it to him. It's just numbers. Like, as long as he can get the numbers. I'm like, that's not what it's about. Dude, you could have a stream with 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 people, and none of them care about you. What you want is a stream of people where every person there is engaged with the content you're making, because those are the people that are going to come back, and they're going to want to see you continue, and they're going to support those streams.
Right, so it's just different numbers then. Telling Wings that it doesn't matter how many people are there, and that the numbers don't matter, but the numbers do matter when it comes to support, and therefore you should build up whales. It's genuinely his idea. Don't try and just get a large amount of people and try and divvy it out between them and support yourself that way. Just get whales, buddy. It's so easy.
That's what I'm trying to relay to him. I think because the kind of game he plays has always been the AAA, right? Think about it. He's playing Battlefield 6, Call of Duty, and then what's the other game he plays to fill in the gaps? Dark Souls or Baldur's Gate 3. They're all giant games, all of them. And it's not about that. It's about having an audience that just enjoys what you're doing, not about pumping out the numbers because someone wanted to see you play the big game, you see? And again, not to say that that's not a part of the equation of success. It is. I'm very excited.
Wings told him he's not interested in video games like that. That he plays CRPGs and like Diablo because he likes the way to he thinks of them as puzzles or something like that. And he plays FPS games because that's what he streams. That's what he gets paid for. He's good at it. I mean, I don't know that he's that good anymore, but I don't play Siege. Carry Diamond for sure.
For next week, just a little over a week now, we've got the release of...
Also, he plays on console, so he's got that going against him too. It's not like he's busting out fucking RimWorld, you know?
Resident Evil 9, and I'm absolutely playing it, and I'm stoked.
Yeah, and Dark Souls because it saved his life. How could I forget that very important piece of information about Wings? As if the whole story wasn't sad enough, we were literally saved by Dark Souls. That's tough.
for it. And I know it's going to end up being a great experience with all of you. You know, every Resident Evil game that comes out.
I'm
we've had a
being
great
mean
time.
to Soul
But
Slop
it's not
today.
just about that, right? So thank you for that. And that comment, thank you to the person who left that comment. Thank you to those who've been around these last, month and a half that I've been doing things differently, right? In 2026, I said, we're definitely going to approach things differently. Let's see how it goes. And I think it's going well. In fact, just so you know, tonight we're trying Deadlock, the new game from Valve that's in playtest. You guys liked seeing me play it during the marathon. So we're going to give it a night stream and just see if it works. If you guys come by and engage and support it, I'll consider playing it more. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's an experiment, right? We'll see. Tomorrow, we're going to play Marvel Cosmic Invasion. This is not a huge budget game. It's actually a small-scale, side-scrolling beat-em-up that's an homage to classic games like the Ninja Turtles arcade game, Streets of Rage, and stuff like that. But it stars the Marvel cast of X-Men and Avengers and characters like that. Apparently, it's around roughly 3 hours long for one playthrough, and I've already played about a half an hour of it during the marathon, so we'll just pick up where we left off, trying different characters, trying to do optional challenges and things. I think it's going to be a nice, chill time.
Another game that I don't know how it plays. I don't know how it does for him, but Marvel Cosmic Invasion, is this good for DSP or is this bad for DSP? I haven't seen any of the gameplay. Please inform me. Because it sounded like this was going to be a terrible idea, and he pushed it off and back, and then all of a sudden we're doing it. But he played it when I went on vacation. I genuinely don't know.
And then next
It's a nice chill time. Thank you for the propaganda. I appreciate it. It was terrible to watch. Wage quit the Marvel game.
We're actually going to be doing a fun stream on Monday night, I think it is. We're going to do another Indies night where we're going to probably play maybe 2 to 3 indie games on the fly that you guys have suggested. Some of them are already in my
He did not like any of
wish
them.
list on Steam, and we may go back, like someone has suggested, maybe going back and resuming a game we played before. We could do that. Let's see what people want on Monday night, right? So that's excellent, and I'm excited for that, and I hope that you guys will join me for this variety of fun moving forward this year. It will not just be DSP constantly plays AAAs, and that's it, because I understand how boring that can be, and I also get that there are games that aren't huge, don't have giant budgets and big advertising behind them, but they are very worthy games of my time, and we should give them a few streams at least to try them out and see if people like them. I'm okay with that. All right. So thank you for that. I just wanted to open with that today because it was a very insightful comment. And I was actually quite happy that someone had given me that advice. But I agree. Let's look for the games that have those cult followings so we can get people to come and hang out with me and enjoy seeing me
What a good
experience
idea.
what they've loved for so long, because I think that's going to get me more attention and success with a smaller group, but a dedicated group that likes what I'm doing.
So Wales. We're kind of like begging, and now they're calls to action. If we just call them as though they're some sort of niche game enjoying group rather than Wales, it's okay. We're just rebranding. He really is putting that business degree to work at this point. The way that he tries to rebrand and continue to do the same thing over and over and over again. That's all this degree was ever good for.
Opposed to just getting eyes on it because it's a big game, but these aren't necessarily people that are going to stick around, right? That's the thing with one of these big AAA releases. Typically, the first to 2 streams will do well, and then after that, there's a sharp fall off. Every single one.
Right, after 2 or 3, people realize that you fucking suck. It's way faster if you just say it like that. All this pitter-patter is nonsense.
Right? That's how it works. So, there you go. So, I love it. I absolutely love these games. I'm glad that you're enjoying the playthrough. And thanks for stopping by, and thank you so much for supporting Dragon Quest. Because right now, as I said, sadly, this playthrough is the least attended that I've been doing, and it has not done horribly for support. I want to make this abundantly clear. Dragon Quest VII has not done horribly at all. In fact, it's doing quite good compared to other JRPGs. Like when I was trying to play Suikoden 2, this is doing better than that. So I want you to know that.
Better than Suikoden 2, the game that he actually put on indefinite hiatus and has still not returned to. What is it, like a year later? What? I guess that's a good sign, guys.
It's just that it hasn't gotten the level of
not a very high
as, say,
bar.
Hollow Knight, RimWorld, and even Street Fighter 6 has been doing lately, and that's sad. I want it to because I love JRPGs. I wish that I could play them more often, but it's hard. It's very hard to get people to commit to come by for JRPGs because they claim that they're boring. I don't think they are.
They're boring as shit.
Okay.
I'm not a JRPG enjoyer.
So now what I was going to say was, if you're here and you're enjoying the chill vibes of the morning show and you're having a good time, there's several ways that you can support myself and my content. Number one would be, if you're on YouTube, you can like the stream. By liking my stream, you can give this channel engagement, which helps.
We're asking for likes again. There is no reward. It is quite literally just to annoy you to do the thing.
This channel to be found in the YouTube
Don't you love
algorithm,
that?
to be recommended
Don't you appreciate that chill, positive vibe for your early morning at noon o'clock?
others, and to find my content. it's very hard to find my content because of the amount of clippers and restreamers and people who steal the content. So if you could like the stream, that would help me a ton. Please do. And by the way, it's
swore
free
off
and easy to
reading.
do.
That's not
so there's no
true.
excuse not to.
I spent so much time reading on my vacation. It was actually like heaven.
Let's get this stream up to 100 likes during the morning show. We have 242 viewers. We can get this to 100 likes. Let's go. Now,
Great.
if you want to
Awesome.
go above and beyond, and
If
you
you
want to
wanted to
support
go
the
above
stream,
and beyond.
you can. How?
You want to be the biggest dent in the room? Here's how you
If you're
do
on
it.
the YouTube side, you can become a member of the channel, which will give you access to a whole ton of emotes and get you a cool channel crown badge to show how long that you've been a supporter. You can give some memberships to your fellow viewer, or you can do a super chat. If you're on the kick side, you can throw some kicks my way, or you can become a paid subscriber over there, which again will get you access to a whole bunch of emotes and a crown in the chat. Or you can give some subs to your fellow viewer. Or if you don't want to be involved with any of the sides of the services, and I don't want to pay any money to YouTube or Kick, you could just tip me via PayPal. There is a link in the description of the stream where you can type !tip in the chat right now.
Just your standard bag. I didn't want to cut it out because I think this is important. You got to you have to have a bag in your business meeting. Obviously, even though the entire business meeting is just a covert bag, you have to have at least one bag in your business meeting.
You'll see the link to do so.
Mandatory
If you're watching this stream
by the
on
Institute.
demand as a
Sorry.
video on YouTube, you can do a super thanks on the video after the fact. Or again, you can check the description of this video. It'll have that tips link as well, and you can support that way. So let's go. Let's get some support for the DSP Morning Show, and let's get support for Dragon Quest and classic RPGs. I want to keep playing Dragon Quest and keep it in the rotation. So let's get support for classic stuff right now, early
Right
and often.
now.
Let's go. In fact, where are we at? I haven't even looked yet.
Right.
Oh, by the way,
Now. We're not paused. We're just fucking with the leaderboard. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. We're putting the date on the leaderboard. This is a new strat. Okay.
You see what I just
Hear
did?
this. Hear this out.
take a look at the leaderboard at the top of the screen. This is something that I'm going to be doing moving forward. And you might say, what did Phil just do? I just added the date to the leaderboard. It now says February 19th, 2026 stats, and then it shows the leaderboard moving, okay? Why did I add that?
Why did I do that?
Because guess what?
Now, why would I add the date to my stream, guys? Isn't that so peculiar? Isn't that so interesting?
I got a comment. I was shocked about this, okay? I got a comment on a video overnight, and here's what someone said.
Another comment. Look, this one might be so stupid. It might be real. I'm going to be honest with you. It's hard to believe. I was about to say I don't believe it, but it's so stupid. And he actually did do it. I genuinely think someone is this dumb.
Bill, I'll be honest with you. I thought you didn't make content anymore. I thought that you had actually stopped and that all that was going on was that people were constantly still clipping you and making fun of you and doing this detractor style stuff. The reason that I thought that is because
like this is like a dent. This is a dent. This is someone who actually has a mental disability, correct?
I can't find your channel. Like, I didn't know that you actively are making content.
A guy with long hair confirming ALT did the hard work, and then we all get to reap the rewards, and said that he found the comment. It's a real comment. It is not a known LARPer. So there you have it. This is real. There's really an idiot out there that said this to the guy, and you're all telling me no. Bullshit.
So I thought these were people who were just beating the dead horse. I didn't know that you were streaming every day and making this content. The problem is when people do these clips of you, they steal your content and they don't say, oh, it's from DSP Gaming, it's from this date or anything like that. So could you add the date that you're streaming to your moving leaderboard that you already have? Because if you do, now you're dated. We know what day you put out that stream or that video. So by seeing this, you know
That's a good
this
idea.
is the
Look in the
morning
bottom
show
corner.
from February
I'm
19th,
right.
2026.
Well, not in
And,
the
you know,
corner.
now, oh, wait, that actively was made that day? Oh, cool. Now I know to go check out Phil because he's making content.
And I'm going to be honest, he did it the worst fucking way possible, too. Like, just throwing it into this already way too fucking long scrolling nonsense at the top. Just the most inappropriate way to do that, if you ask me. It's not very helpful at all. It's telling you the date every, like, 2.5 fucking minutes as it scrolls by incredibly slow. Oh, my lord. I hate the way his leaderboard works.
You see? So that's awesome. And by the way, Dr. Magical Man says, I searched DSP Gaming. You're the first result. Wrong. The reason that is because the YouTube algorithm, when you search, is based off of your view history. So if you're literally sitting here right now watching my stream already and you search DSP Gaming, I will be the first channel that pops up. But If you're someone who doesn't regularly watch and doesn't come to the channel and doesn't even know the channel, if you search DSP Gaming, you will get all the restreams and detractor content first.
No, it's not true. If you type in DSP Gaming, you will get DSP Gaming on an incognito, private tab, unsigned out, however you cut the mustard on that. You will get DSP Gaming. But if you type in DSP, that's when you start to get shit that is not DSP, of course. But that's because you weren't specific enough. And there's a million titles out there that have DSP in the title. Sorry, you got outplayed.
As shown, when Asmongold did exactly that during our interview. He literally did it, and boom, that's exactly what happened to him. He couldn't find the channel. He was like, wait.
Well, Asmongold also watches fucking detractors, dude. Like, that's not even... That's not a control group, you know?
Snort Hogan isn't you? No, that's not me.
Yeah, he's watching a bunch of Snort Hogan clips and then surprised that when he types in DSP that more Snort Hogan clips come up.
So, there you go. So I'm gonna have the date, all right, in the
yeah, and DSP Space Gaming does work as well. If you DSP Space Gaming, his channel comes up. I swear, I've done it.
From now on, so
I've done it a lot. I usually do it on accident. It's ingrained into my brain that you put it in there for some reason.
People know that's the day that I'm broadcasting. Okay, I think it makes sense. It doesn't really affect anything because the leaderboard's already there. So I think it's fine. I don't think it's going to be, you know, any kind of an issue having the date on there. Okay, cool. All right. All right. So good stuff. Boxster Baxter, you're missing the point. Boxster Baxter says, I'm confused. How does adding the date to your King's Tax banner make the channel easier to find? That doesn't make it easier to find, but let's say, for example, you're watching someone who clipped me, right?
Right.
You'll know the date that they clipped me. That way you'll say, oh, okay, so Phil made that on that date. And you can say, well, if I want to find other stuff of his, he's actively making content. Yeah.
But this is always the case. Once again, going to show the entire internet how little he actually knows or can mentally process, because I'm pretty sure we've seen clips of Raw Phil. This was always the case. Anybody that's talking shit about DSP is probably using a clip from Raw Phil, whether it be from Duty or from Snort Hogan or whoever the fuck else gets the clip. It's usually from Raw Phil, and they always have the date. This is a non-problem if you're watching Jesus Christ, a detractor clip on the internet. It usually already has the date.
Understand? As opposed to, if it doesn't say that...
Which is why you would think this is a LARP, I guess.
I think, oh, this is just an old clip that someone clipped of Phil to make a meme or something. That's the difference. Because that was what the person had said in the comment. They were like, I didn't even know you were still actively making content because I haven't seen your channel in 100 years. So I thought that this was just old shit people were making fun of. If the date was in there, I would have known you made it today or yesterday. Oh, okay.
Also, a nonsense comment, because a bunch of clips have DSP talking about modern games on a regular basis and talking about things that are happening in the games industry currently. How the fuck? Anyway.
Someone just add DSP gaming stats. There you go. I'll do that.
Yeah, it does make zero sense. You're right.
Perfect. I put the date and I put DSP gaming stats. Perfect. So now it says DSP gaming in the crawl, and that'll indicate the channel. There you go. And it sure would be great if you could support the stream.
Oh my God. I didn't even know he did that. He included DSP gaming just at the beginning of the crawl for no reason other than people might not know who he is. Buddy, everybody knows. Everybody.
Right? Please. I love this style of game. It's one of my favorites. I want to keep JRPGs and turn-based RPGs in the rotation, but I need people to show up and support the streams. Please support the stream.
That sounds kind of like a slur. Never mind. Don't ticker bloat.
Because here's the thing about this game. We can talk and hang out when I play it. We can treat it as a chill hangout session as I'm also playing it. You understand? It's not just about the game. It's not like I'm playing Street Fighter and I can't pay attention to you guys. It's actually the opposite. So if you stick around and hang out...
Thank you, The Do, for $2. I appreciate it. He even says the date when he opens the stream. Well, yeah, but because he's always clipped so out of context, except for all the people that have, of course, watched the whole fucking thing all the time, you wouldn't see the beginning. You would only see the one part. So how could you know, dude? But it's important.
We can have a great interactive time together this afternoon. I hope that you will, okay? Chill for a minute. I'm just going to go use the restroom, and then we're going to begin with Dragon Quest VII. Again, support would be greatly appreciated. Some early support, get some shout outs on the leaderboard here for Dragon Quest would be great. Thank you guys. I'll be right back.
Okay, all right. So went right into Dragon Quest. Please support. I want to play it so fucking bad. And For our next clip, I think I should justify the title and the thumbnail for this video in case you didn't see this absolutely nothing moment. I thought it was really funny. Of course, you all got clickbaited. I'm going to tell you now because this is the most unk segment I think I've ever heard DSP do. He's, of course, talked about his critters before, but this is next level, I think. Next level unk status.
Right here
Are
on
you
the channel.
actually getting Arby's today?
That's correct. The king doesn't go to a forest. The forest
Oh.
comes to the king.
Hang on. Hang on. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. We'll watch something else. Hang on. Watch this business meeting.
Okay. So to answer Aaron's question, the original reason that I got detractors was because I was an asshole. 100%. I was someone who thought his shit didn't stink. His content was better than everyone else's.
DSP was someone who thought his shit didn't stink. He was someone who thought that
I didn't
his
need to
content
listen
was
to
the
feedback
best.
ever. That all I needed to do was keep doing what I was doing and I should be successful forever. You know what I'm saying? Like everything I did was kind of like offensive. If someone tried to criticize me, I'd get pissed. This is how you don't play. Instead of laughing at it, I got pissed. That's on me. 100%. That's on me. Okay?
So now he's laughing at those things, right? In the modern day, if that's how we're talking about it now, we watch, clips of ourselves all the time and we guffaw and gaff at them and we talk about how funny the this is how you don't plays are. We do that then, right? If we've moved past that.
But over
Yeah,
time,
as he seethes about the fucking banana song. Exactly. We're getting there.
all right, things changed. I became a different kind of person, a different kind of creator, a different kind of streamer. I made decisions that 100% backed the things that I said about content creation that I felt. You shouldn't be toxic. You shouldn't be offensive. You shouldn't be making yourself a clown. You shouldn't have to make others clowns. That you should just try to do something that's positive for the earth. Like my firm belief is one day I'm going to be done with content creation and I'll be able to leave behind a body of work that's eternal. I mean, you can watch a playthrough that I did 10 years ago, yesterday.
I'll be able to leave behind a body, and it will be my wife's, of course. What's left of it.
And it's still good no matter what. You can still watch it and enjoy it. It doesn't hurt anyone. It didn't bring anyone down. I didn't make my living based on crunching others under my boots, but instead just having fun with an audience.
Except for all those times he shit on all of those games for however the devs made them, despite whatever circumstances they were under, or all of those people he shit talked online all of the time for his earlier style content, or all those slurs that he used for you non-slur enjoyers. Like, we're just gonna pretend like none of that happened. We were always making positive style chill content. Just completely retcon the entire thing.
See, like that's what I stand for today. So if you compare the Phil of today to the Phil of 10, 15 years ago, there's a big difference in philosophy and content. I'll agree that the content that I was making, we have a shambling zombie, our first sub of the week from Lance Catamaran. So yes, I changed the sub notifications as well, as you can see. Thank you, Lance Catamaran, for the shambling zombie, sending it my way. Okay, so I basically feel like back in the day, my detractors were critics. And what they would do is look at my content and say, Phil can improve by doing this better. Phil can improve by changing his attitude here. Phil could be a better person here. He could be more grateful here. He could stop swearing at the games and saying racial comments and sexual comments here. And he could do this better. And
we still do that. Detractors still do that. This is how you don't plays are still made, and they still shit on him, and it still highlights all of his worst moments, and people watch these streams live and tell him how terrible his commentary is and how he could change his behavior this way or that way, and he would be doing so much better and he would be received so much better. This is all still true. So
over time, listen to all of that, and I changed myself for the better. If you look at me today, I'm so polarizingly different than how I used to be. Okay? Today,
yeah, and in that instance, he's talking about the SOK. Like, if we're just being honest, it was a little tougher back then for old Philly boy. He was getting his address leaked, and people were DDoSing him and fucking with his content and doing copyright strikes, and he had a wellness check or whatever. He could have been killed,
Hey,
but the SOK they were better because they didn't make money, of course.
the reason that people have issue with me
criticism
is because they want to make money or because they're jealous. Those are the two reasons. Either they want to make money by still saying I'm the worst person ever because they can monetize that, and there is a hate-based cult on the internet used to hearing it, or they're just jealous of my success and they don't want to believe that someone can just be here and be themselves and actually make content. Oh no, Because that goes against what we believe. We believe
You guys are so jealous of DSP. He's swole. His hairline isn't receding. His wife is not fat. Casper is not sick or declawed, and his house is massive. All the bathrooms work, and you're seething. You're so jealous.
be toxic and drama-filled and negative, and we don't want to believe that someone nice and positive like Phil could make content and be successful. So they don't want me to make money. They want me to fail because they feel like that's some kind of a win for them because they're jealous of my success. It's that simple. And it's not everyone. Like I said, there's a distinct group of people that want to see me fail so they can make content on it and make money. It has no.
Well, no, I want to laugh. That's the most important part. Once again, misunderstanding the entire concept. I want to shit talk with my boys and poke fun at this grotesque baby man. He's just a baby man. That's what I want to laugh at him. I was doing it for free. Thank you, Vaporware 336 for the 26 months, saying, so how fast would you die from alcohol poisoning if you took a shot for every 5 times he mentions detractors post-Asman bump? Shout out Skeleton G. You would die very fast, of course, because we talk about detractors all the time. It's on the menu a lot lately.
I don't really believe at all whatsoever.
But we did so good with the Asman bump, you guys. It was refreshing. It revitalized the channel. People were able to talk to him. He did collaborations with Repsion. It was so robust and meaningful.
A single person who watches me and actually thinks that Phil is someone who needs to improve his content and here's constructive criticism how. I don't believe that anymore. Because it used to be, and I changed for the better, and it's never good enough. No matter what I do to change, whatever what I do to improve, they move the goalpost again because they can't have a narrative that says Phil isn't bad anymore. Their narrative is Phil is bad, so they have something to talk about, a group of hate watchers to be socially active with on the internet, and that they can make money on. Aaron did another $5 super chat. He says, so they're against you growing as a person. How do you learn if you don't make mistakes? No, that they don't want anything positive out of me whatsoever.
That's not true. I want DSP to turn off the stream. I want him to log off permanently. I think that's probably the most positive outcome that you could actually have for DSP. It would be the biggest net positive on the world and his life at the same time. I think, and I genuinely believe that. I am Mr. Positivity, okay?
Seriously, if anything positive ever comes out of my content, they ignore it. They only focus on the negative because that is what's monetizable. On YouTube, people care more about the story of the guy who fell from grace rather than the person who came from nowhere and became successful. That's how YouTube works. People want.
Yeah, that's typically a more interesting story.
God, what a grand and intoxicating innocence.
Like the fumbles that you have to make to fuck up what you had is usually, I think, more interesting than somebody who just did the right moves and then found success in a usually a fairly normal style way. So I'm not surprised that one genre does better than the other. I thank you, XJS, for the 11 months, saying mold grows, Phil festers. That's true. That's true and real.
Drama, toxicity, negativity. They want you feel better about yourself when you hear that someone else failed because it makes you think, oh, well, I didn't fail, so I'm good. Now, you may be a nobody who never was, but at least you didn't fall from grace, right? So it makes you get a little bit of boost about yourself. You feel, oh, that person failed. I feel good. Those are the stories people like on YouTube. Those are the stories that get the big views. When I make a negative video about a game, it makes way more views and money than a video that's positive.
Wait, but should that not make you feel better? Like, genuine question. If you watch somebody rise, be somebody, and then fall so far back down that you are at the same level, if not doing better than they are, shouldn't that make you feel better and like
what a grand and intoxicating
reassure
innocence.
that you made the right call for all of the decisions that you've made up to this point, at least to some extent? I feel like that's a fairly human way to look at it. But of course, because it's at DSP's expense, it's not okay. Because DSP's the one that's being compared to and laughed at. We have a problem. Sorry, I forgore. Thank you, Manolo Azul, for the 11 months, saying Phil needs to get off the stream, work on his marriage, and try to make amends with his old friends. That would actually be a win for him. Well, he doesn't even have to make amends with his old friends. He just needs to go outside. Have friends, do things, stop worrying about detractors. I think all of that would be a positive. But of course, this is his business, and this is what he wants to do. He wants to sit in this room all day. It's where he prefers to be.
Right now, if I make a video that says this is the worst game I've ever played, it'll get tons of views. If I make a game that says it's the best game I've ever played, it won't get views. That's just how YouTube is. So ignore any positivity whatsoever. Never give credit where credit is due, right? I couldn't tell you how many times in the last 5 years that meme that says the worst person you know made a good point. You know that meme? And even the face, remember the face of the guy that they use for it? literally 10 times a year.
DSP sounds like my dad trying to explain a meme to me over the phone. And you know the face of the guy that they use for it. Yeah, Dad. Yeah, I know the one. Go ahead. Holy shit, Grandpa, please.
I see that about me on social media. I see that about me in comments on videos. I see that about me everywhere. It's like, wait a minute. At one point, it's not the worst guy you made a good point. How could I be the worst guy you know if I'm constantly making good points?
Well, because it's not constantly. Did he not just say it like a few times a year? If you have a few good points a few times a year, I don't necessarily think that takes you out of the worst person that I'm aware of, because all of your other actions are working so hard against you. I mean, saying you don't like people being killed or something does not instantly, like, oh, he's got a right opinion, therefore DSP can't be a terrible person that sucks all the time. That's not how that works. Thank you, Smoke Jaguar, for the 5, saying, I get not wanting to punch down or whatever, but the guy has said and done so many stupid things to such an insane degree you can't look away. Well, absolutely. I mean, that's why he's a lolcow. He's done so much weird shit, so much shit that is completely, like, out of the ordinary. It's impossible to not look at, and if you're interested, dissect and try and figure out and put together in a cohesive way. Some people, like ALT.
Then I'm not the worst guy anymore. It's the guy who doesn't make good points and does bad things that's the worst guy. But it's the meme that I'm the worst guy. So to them, any positivity cannot, it's got to be the...
Yes, but Spoon Noodles, David Dent, is like, that's one of the smallest things that DSP could have possibly have done that got obviously overanalyzed by these autistic trolls or whatever. But it's so funny. It's weird that it interests people. How could you be so out of touch with normal people living and reality in general that you don't know that you would eat a cup of ramen with a fork and not a spoon? That's so odd. It's interesting.
That never happens for Phil. Rare Phil W. No, it's not rare anymore. Phil's always getting W's. It's just that people don't want to acknowledge the W's anymore, because they want to say, well, Phil sucks. Let's make bad content about him and make money on it. And they can't do that if I'm actually not a bad person. You see?
Right.
I hope that makes sense, Aaron. It's only the best way I can describe it. Like, I'm someone...
He didn't go to the Henry Epstein Island. So therefore, he can't be a bad person.
Who I acknowledge I was bad back in the day.
Common
I
Phil
was so
W.
big-headed. I thought
He
my shit
wasn't
didn't stink. I
invited
thought my
to
content was the
something.
best. I didn't want to listen to criticism. I didn't want to listen to suggestions for improvement. I was mad at anyone who made fun of me. I was a dick. I was a conceited dick. That's the best way to describe
Still
the
all
old Phil.
true, though.
I have done as much as I humanly possibly can to change from that person into someone who has learned, who is self-aware, who wants to make better content, who wants to be better, and I am successful doing it that way. But the internet doesn't want to acknowledge it. The facts are here. Like, literally on this stream, I haven't said a word about, hey, send me contributions, and look how much I've already made. I didn't even do anything.
Hey, guys, he just broke that little streak that he's bragging about right now by saying, look at how I didn't mention contributions. Great point, Phil.
I was talking to you guys during a podcast. You can't deny that I'm successful. But the internet doesn't want to admit that, because that means that their narrative's broken, right? Oh, Phil's not a bad person. He makes good content, and people support it. No, that doesn't happen. Phil's a broke, and he's a bad...
But that's not necessarily that's not an entailment of the statement. DSP gets money. Like, I guess it depends on how you define success, but that's not necessarily successful. And him making money does not necessarily entail that there is a wide group of people that are really enjoying the DSP content. He just pitched the fucking idea in the last clip we watched about actually narrowing the pool of people that enjoy his content and relying on whales again. That's what he pitched. So how are we going to lie and sit there and pretend as though there's this massive audience that is really enjoying all the content? That's just not true. And it's not even his goal anymore, apparently. I mean, it never was.
And he's this and he's that. That's all not true. But that's the narrative they have to push.
Okay. All right. That's the narrative. The detractors are jealous. They're seething. They're idiots, obviously. Now, I fixed the problem we just had. I will go back to try and justify the title and the thumbnail. I'm doing the bit again. Here you go. It's muted. Fuck!
The king doesn't go to a forest. The forest comes to
It's
the
fine.
king.
There it
That
is.
is correct. Why do you think I moved here? I got the best view of anyone who lives here. We got this giant nature area behind us where we got beautiful trees, the pond, all kinds of crazy birds that come in and migrate during the different seasons of the year. Tons of squirrels. Wild rabbits are out there, which is really cool.
All the
Sometimes
creatures.
We even have moles and stuff. Not that that's good because they dig up your yard, but we have all kinds of wild creatures out there. We do. The only thing we have
All sorts of wild creatures out there. We got moles and birds and rabbits, which, like, I guess there's places in the United States and, of course, other parts of the world that don't have these kinds of creatures, but they usually have other creatures. I don't really like calling them creatures. They have other animals that are outside. I don't think that this is some sort of unique and robust talking point. And that's why I said this is really the, like, upgraded Unk level segment. Because this is the type of shit that your, like, grandfather gets into, where he starts talking to you about the animals that are in the backyard. Not that that's a negative, that you like looking at birds and squirrels and stuff, but it's not really a topic of conversation now, is it?
had is deer. We have everything else. Like we've even had coyotes come through. We've had bobcats. I don't think I've ever seen a wolf though. We've had all kinds of creatures, but like I said, just not deer for whatever reason. I think because the too many humans in the area that would scare the deer away.
Yeah, you live in an urban area, you fucking mong. Which whatever.
Some good stuff out there.
I just saw
Very
deer the
nice.
other day.
What kind of birds? Oh, good lord. Sparrows, chickadees, finches of various varieties. We've got northern flicker birds. We've got
See, and he's going in depth on the bird names. Like he's looked them up and he knows all about. Like it's the thing that your dad does, that your grandfather does. Once you start knowing the names of the local birds that aren't just like, you know, you got a cardinal or a blue jay or whatever. Yeah, he's like an avian enthusiast. Exactly.
Stellar's jays. We've got falcons. We actually just recently saw, not falcons, excuse me, hawks. We saw 2 different kinds of hawks in the area. That was really cool.
A DSP bird watching
like,
stream? Nah, dude, we can't do that because then the trolls are going to try and get on the stream or something, obviously.
Huge, and only came by
But
for
he
like
would,
a week.
I think he would be absolutely down for that type of shit, though, where he just watches his fucking bird feeder or whatever and wastes your time doing Q&A until birds show up. Hell yeah, dude.
But that thing was giant. And it kept coming by. You know what it is? It's looking for little creatures, looking for like mice and rats and squirrels and stuff to eat. And then recently we have another hawk that's like a mid-size hawk.
Yes,
weird
please,
because it comes
you
by
know
and
what,
just
dude,
looks at
please
everything
convince him
and
to do
flies
bird
away.
watching
Never actually tried
streams.
to hunt. It just kind of looks around. But it's a cool looking hawk. Actually, we had an eagle. I forgot. 2 weeks ago we had an eagle that was way high up in the sky above us. You could see his wingspan.
The trolls are trying to shoot the birds down. That's so fucking funny.
Huge, so we couldn't tell what kind of eagle it was. We don't think it was a bald
Already got
eagle,
the plan
but it
figured
was
out, therefore he
giant.
can't
Like,
do
God
it.
damn, it's a huge bird up there. It's really cool when you have a variety of wildlife that comes by, and seasonally it changes, it rotates, where you can see different kinds of birds during the course of the year, and sometimes you see more of one kind and less of another.
No way,
which is
dude.
really neat.
You can see bird migration in your local area? What the hell? That's crazy. Anyway, it's been nice talking to you, Grandpa. I hope your leg starts feeling better next week.
We have a feeder on our back door because our back door is a sliding glass door. So we have one of those transparent plastic feeders that does suction cup on the door, and you fill it with seed, and the birds come by every single day to eat. So the smaller birds eat there, and then in the back.
And there you have it. DSP is a feeder confirmed. He purchased a feeder. He loads it up with bird seed. They hang around. He's into it. He's loving it. An avian enthusiast, they call him in the chat. There you have it. Thank you, Redbird UJ76 for the 2, saying, have you been watching Jer's downfall on KC? Curious. I have. I'm a couple of clips behind because it hasn't been snowing, but I listen to a lot of Kino Casino clips while I shovel sidewalks. It's actually robust and meaningful and very helpful, I'm sure.
Of our house, there's a
Their
dog
watch
walk
time's
park,
got to be crazy.
and then there's benches and stuff to sit out there, and we put out a feeder, and every day we go out there and we fill it up with different kinds of nuts, different kinds of healthy nuts, like almonds or walnuts or whatever, and the birds and squirrels come by and eat it every day, and we get tons of variety of wildlife as a result. It's really cool.
Super cool. It turns out if you feed the animals, animals come by to be fed. You wouldn't believe this one sick trick. The government doesn't want you to know.
What's going on, Abdullah? Abdullah just did a $4.90 super chat, and he says, "Can you sing the banana song? Maybe using."
Oh no, that's spoilers. That's spoilers. Get out of here, banned. All right, guys. So we actually are moving on to the banana segment, but that's not even the one we're watching. We're watching the one from like 2 fucking weeks ago or something at this point. The one that I passed up initially because I thought it was going to be nothing. This was the first mention of the recent banana style crash outs. And I have all of them. Jesus Christ. I have all of them included because I really do want to show you just how the quantity of banana crash out there is.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, 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 code, drip, snort, snort. I got the drip. Go.
No, I can't do the banana song because I seriously still don't know it. I've watched it. What is it? I like banana, tasty banana. I don't. Again, for me, these things that become crazy memes are like a silly moment, right? Here I am. I'm playing Donkey Kong 64. I'm losing my mind because the game is insane, right? The game is so busted, delayed, just a mess.
Right,
and
blame the game, obviously. And some of that might be true. I never played that version of Donkey Kong 64. I've never played any version of Donkey Kong 64. That might be true, but it is hard to believe DSP when he is actually the boy who cried wolf on all controls being delayed. So
I'm legit.
I never believe him now.
And I was like, that's it. I'm just gonna do something stupid. I start singing about bananas, and then people turn it into a freaking meme. Where is it? We can watch it. Where the hell is it? Because I don't really know the meme. You guys turned it into a meme, not me. Where the hell is it? I know it's in this list.
Hang on, guys. We got to find it.
Of course, now that I want it, I can't find it.
We can't just
I know
type
it's in this list.
the banana song DSP and it would come up. We can't
What
do
the
that.
hell? Where is it? No, I can't find it. Ah, here it is. All right, here we go. Ready?
Come on, Grandpa. Get it on OBS.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right.
Let's
add
do
the
something
element.
embarrassing today.
Okay,
This
here
stream
we
was
go.
too positive. Here we go.
Get me that banana.
I did it too early.
Oh my god.
Banana, tasty banana, put a banana in my mouth. See, I don't know. I don't. Wait, does it say it comes in denim? Is that what I actually say there? Hold on a second.
Not in my mouth. Squeeze the peel, it comes in denim.
No, I never said it comes in denim.
I never said that thing you just heard me say. What? No.
That's not what that is. I said something else.
Just fighting ghosts. He's swinging at the air trying to argue with the fucking banana song. That is years old at this point. Just picking a fight with the air.
Banana, put banana in my mouth. Squeeze the peel, it comes in denim.
Squeeze the peel, here comes the nana. That's what I said. Squeeze the peel, here comes the nana. That's what I said. Not it comes in denim, here comes the nana.
And no one has ever heard that be the lyrics. Never.
Like banana, for short for banana. So I just completely blew your mind because that's the true song.
And therefore, I'm the best, and you've all learned something, and these trolls are idiots. Damn, who would have thought? Me, DSP, the greatest to ever do it, could do that for you. You're welcome.
Are you ready?
That's actually how we're trying to paint this right now.
Here we go.
Get me that banana. Hold on tight, here we go. I need banana,
tasty banana, put banana in my mouth, squeeze the punch, here comes the banana. See, it says, here comes banana.
And
That's
then
what
he
I said.
Tries to... DSP trying to prove his point while actively talking over the clip is, I think, a humongous sign of the type of individual the DSP is. That he is beyond help, that he doesn't deserve air, and is an incredibly frustrating individual in general. That is a thing that people do in real life. That it is the marker that this person is just not useful.
Not it comes in denim.
Huge pet peeve, actually. Talking over the clip that you think proves your point. Buddy. Jesus Christ,
Yes.
you're dumb.
There you go. So all these years you've been saying the wrong thing because you're stupid.
You're dumb.
Because you're so dumb, you couldn't even understand what I was saying. I said, squeeze the peel, here comes banana. That's what I said, not denim. Denim? Why would I say it comes in denim?
Because
What,
you're
are
an
you
idiot.
stupid?
Because you're retarded. Because he says dumb, drivel, nonsense songs all of the time with incoherent, nonsensical lyrics. That's why you would believe that he would say, here comes the denim, or whatever the fuck in the banana song. That's why. From recognizing the pattern that DSP is, the cycle he
I never
runs,
said it comes
the
in
way
denim.
he
That's
works.
definitely not what I said there. I did not say it comes in denim. Guys, okay, this is the most ridiculous thing.
And now he's getting angry. They didn't buy the narrative, so we're actively getting upset about it.
Possible.
Look
Are you
at
ready
him.
for this? I've had it. You people are so crazy on the internet.
I've had
Listen.
it. I'm done with it. I'm fucking done with it. Thank you to Pasta Maker for the 5 saying, the way he talks about memes makes it seem like he thinks there's some company out there with a meme engineering department churning out memes. He definitely doesn't fucking understand them. That's for certain, dude.
We're going to watch it one more time. I want you to open your goddamn ears and listen to what I say here. Are you ready?
Yeah, open your ears. Don't read the subtitles that he included on this video. This is his video, by the way. That's on his channel.
Banana, tasty banana, put banana in my mouth, squeeze the peel, it comes in denim.
In comes,
comes
the
in
nana,
denim.
is what I said. In comes the nana. And I kind of stumbled over my words. Open, squeeze the peel, in comes the nana. That's exactly what I said. Has nothing to do with denim. You heard what you wanted to hear and turned it into a meme that doesn't exist, which is literally what you've done the entire time that I've been on the internet. You say or do whatever you want to believe, and then you act like it's a fact that it's not.
Just not.
No one ever said anything about denim.
Okay, now please note, it's going to be on the test later. Please note now that he is just utterly confident that this is the case. Right now, he is speaking definitively that you are wrong. He did not say it comes in denim. He, in fact, said, in comes the nana. He thinks that he says that is the final, that's it. That's what he's saying. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're an idiot. Because he will later be very unsure as to what it said.
You literally made it up. It's not real. You're a weird person or people who literally hear what you want. You ready? One more time.
Put banana in my mouth, squeeze the peel, it comes in denim.
In comes the nana. That's what I just said. In comes the nana.
Oh, yeah. I should
Has
pull
nothing to
up,
do with denim, but you make it up. And this is what I mean. That's my existence on the internet. Phil did this today. Well, he didn't. You made it up, or you twisted it to act like that's what it was when it wasn't. But that's, you can believe whatever you want, or you can listen to reality. There's your evidence in black and white, right in fucking front of you. That it never even happened. But you guys are crazy. Like, seriously. Anyway, dude, okay. You really have to stop. I'm not even kidding you. There's someone in Kick Chat saying, you're saying denim. We just listened to it a million times. The word.
And he just goes back. He needs everybody to be on board with this narrative. For some reason, this banana song, this day, decided that it would, like, today was the day it was going to get under his skin. This was going to be the bugs that he can't get out from under his flesh type beat. What a fucking dumb sentence. Thank you, NWO News, for the 5. Saying we die on this hill because WWE Champs has too much evidence to even stand next to. Yeah, I get, we have to debunk the next detractor thing, and he's decided that banana song is it. Okay. We had to give up the WWE Champs fight. Gotcha. Thank you for the 5.
Word is not denim. It's like me stumbling over a word, and it sounds to me like I'm saying, in comes the nana. Like, squeeze the peel, in comes the nana, like into your mouth, right? That's the point. Like, I was joking about squeezing a banana into your mouth. That's the whole thing. Why would I say it comes in denim?
Because you're
stupid. An idiot?
stupid.
What the fuck in the game had to do with denim? What do bananas have to do with denim? You're just stupid. And the thing is, you have...
But again, if you know anything about DSP and the way that his commentary works on his gameplay, you know that he sings songs all of the time with lyrics that don't go together or have anything to do with the game in the first place, that he's just talking nonsense. Happens all the fucking time. But now we're acting as though it doesn't happen at all ever.
Repeated that phrase so much over the years, you now have programmed your brain to believe that's what I'm saying, even when we just listen to it over and over and it's not what I'm saying in the clip. That's how crazy you are. That's the cult mentality of people who hate people on the internet. You have actually created a mob of people who believe something is fact when the evidence is in your fucking face that it's not fact. You still believe it. Holy shit, man. There you go. Now, you know what? That's the attitude that you should have. Humble water filter salesman just says, you know, I just find the song a funny moment. I don't really care about the last line. Good. I don't either.
Nobody fucking did either, dude. Before DSP was making it his hill to die on for the past couple of weeks, it was just it's just a normal, funny detractor song. It has quite a few remixes, of course, a couple of sequels, but no one was honing in on the denim part until he decided that it was time to make it the biggest point of contention.
I never even knew the song. All I heard was people coming into my chat talking about the banana song, and I'd be like, I don't even know what you're talking about. It was a moment where obviously I was losing my mind. The game had driven me nuts because it was so difficult, so unpolished, such a mess. And here I am trying to like play it to the point where, if you remember, I told everyone I'm 100%ing this game.
Yeah, you guys need the entire backstory to justify why he didn't say the thing he clearly said.
And everyone said
that's
to me,
how we're going to try and get out of this.
Why are you 100%? You never 100% a game. Why would you 100% Donkey Kong 64? Do you remember my answer? Because this game is so bad, I never want to play it again ever in my life. So I'm going to make sure there's never a reason for me to ever return. And if I 100% it, I've seen everything and I never have to come back to it. So I literally...
That's so fucking dumb, by the way. Grown man has to justify why he won't go play a game that he absolutely despises. Just tell him no. There's always more games coming out, and there's infinite games to play. You don't want to play Donkey Kong 64, you hate it, and move on. It's so fun. Actually, just a huge waste of everybody's time for I don't know, just another notch in the fucking on the timeline of lore. Yeah, he did it to himself. Like, the whole plan was stupid from the beginning.
Forced myself, tortured myself to 100% it, so now I never have to play it again. Yeah, that's how bad the game was, right? Okay.
Well, Jack Skellington, even if he had to finish the game, he didn't have to 100% it. That's my point, is like he wasted a bunch of extra time when he could have just played the game, beaten it if it was a Patreon game, and moved on.
Them a denim meme, because every time that they bring up a denim meme, it's going to show how retarded they are. And I'm going to call them out for their low levels of intelligence and stupidity. That they thought that that was me saying denim all these years, when in reality, I never said it once. They made it up, and now they believe it because they're stupid. So every time that they say denim and they put it in a meme and they make a joke about it, they're saying I'm a fucking idiot. Every single time. It's just complete self-recognition of their immense empty heads. So I hope that they do it. I really do. No, to be honest, I still don't remember the song because someone just says...
And it really, like... If you want to zoom all the way out, if you want to look at the biggest picture here, he sang the song that way, is saying that in comes the Nana, and then an actual song with an actual beat and production was put together, and multiple of them were put together, and that says that the line is it comes in denim. So I guess it's really, whose authority do you respect more? The person that actually made the song and put it together, or the person who said it originally and just mumbled his way through and was apparently completely fucking buck broken and brain cracked by fucking Donkey Kong 64 at the time? Like, it's up to you ultimately to decide. Thank you, Adam Corona 349 for the 9 months, saying he's arguing about this so hard, yet smiled and took it when PPP called his wife fat. What a king. Yeah, his priorities are definitely all over the fucking place. That's for sure.
You didn't remember the song?
The things he cares about actually only have to do with detractors. Other than that, everything is basically good to go.
Look at bringing it up. I still don't remember this. Like, I remember being crazy about this game and it driving me nuts, but I don't even remember this moment, like singing this song. I don't. For me, It's like that quote from the Street Fighter.
Yeah, so he's not a credible witness. Exactly, Rockman. He just said, I don't even remember singing this song. It's like that fucking quote from the Street Fighter movie I say all the time. Then who are you to say what it is?
Movie that M. Bison says to Chun-Li, for you, the day that Bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. For me, it was Tuesday. You know? It's the same thing. Like, for you guys, this is like some epic freaking moment of Phil acting like a fool that we can make fun of him forever. For me, it's just...
Yeah, it was one of like a fucking billion at this point. Whoop-de-doo.
Nothing. It was a fart in the wind. It passed. Who cares? It's called hyper-obsession, hyper-focus, hypermania. It's not normal human behavior.
Hypermania?
Okay?
Is
when
that
you focus
real?
on a moment like that, that doesn't mean
What
anything.
is hypermania?
That says more about you than it says about the person who said the thing on a whim and didn't mean anything by it. Do you see? Super Bonchan says, I'm confused.
It's not even hypermania. Or is it? Hang on. Oh, it is. Hypomania is a different thing. In case you were wondering. It's a bipolar disorder. Very cool.
What was supposed to come in denim? He's still trying to bait me. You know what was supposed to come in denim? The brain diaper that my detractors wear to hold their brains in their ears so it doesn't leak out. It comes in denim, apparently.
I got the drip.
The brain diaper for when their brain leaks out of their head. Okay. Sure. This is fucking stupid. I must have missed that on my first viewing of that clip because that's so dumb.
So yesterday on the podcast.
So obviously kind of a large overreaction to the fucking banana song, kind of unprecedented. There was no need to do that. And that's why I thought that it was a one and done. I didn't talk about it. I thought it was going to be it. It was kind of funny, fun time, but he then continued this week to talk about it a whole fucking lot more.
So yesterday on the podcast, the suggestion was made that I leave my stream archives live on the channel after the streams go offline. Because currently what I do is after a stream ends, I private that stream so you cannot see the unedited archive. But I've been recording the entire time that I'm streaming. I'm recording right now. The ESP morning show. Okay. After the morning show, I'll be recording the parts of Dragon Quest VII. And then what I do is I upload them separately. I title them. I put thumbnails on them, and I put them into appropriate playlists so you can watch them after the fact.
Did you guys know how he uploaded his videos and how he records them and streams them separately? Did you know his routine that he tells you basically all the fucking time every single day on every Level 1 podcast? Who is this for? Who is benefiting from this segment? And is it just having their time fucking wasted?
So I've always done it that way, and people love it, and people do not want me to change that. There's an audience that only watch stuff after the fact, and obviously they want that to continue. But the desire has come up to see the unedited streams. And I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
He might genuinely be saying it all like that in that format and making it and constantly repeating it to make himself sound busy. You're probably right. He's got to be a busy professional.
Only watch stuff after the fact, and obviously they want that to continue. But the desire has come up to see the unedited streams. And I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's no additional work for me. However, it would mean there's going to be additional uploads. There's going to be 2 extra videos a day on the channel, one for the morning stream, one for the night stream. And I hope that there's no confusion. I hope that people don't get upset that there's more content. That was one of the reasons why I always privated the streams back in the day, because people said there's too much content. There's just way too much content. And you're flooding our inboxes and things like that, right?
So instead of like uploading the video game portions into segments that were more digestible and didn't spam the inbox or whatever, he decided to just get rid of the archive stream with the chat. That seems like a weird thing to do, if you ask me. It's a very odd solution to what has been a problem for his entire career, if you're willing to call this a career. Thank you, Redbird, for the 2, saying the Eat It hoodie is cursed with crash out powers.
What?
Is that what it is? Is this specifically the specific black flannel style hoodie? This is just the crash out hoodie? Could be. Wild Tiger with the 5, thank you so much, saying this guy loves comparing himself to M. Bison and sandwich shop owners. It's true. When in reality, he should be compared to an escaped psych ward patient. For real, for real. I agree. It's absolutely true. kind of odd. He's always comparing himself to M. Bison, who I believe is actually a literal villain. And if I know anything about, the only thing I know about sandwich shop owners is Jared from Subway. So we'll move on positively. But I agree. Thank you for the 5.
So,
I don't think he owned any franchises.
people said yesterday, no, please leave the streams, the archives live. You should be good. We'd love to see that. Okay. No reason to not. So I left them live overnight. I go to sleep and I wake up this morning and already I'm being notified by multiple people. Hey, Phil, just so you know, last night your detractors were at work. They didn't sleep. Instead, they were on.
They didn't sleep. Again, just another crazy conclusion to come to, that because something was discussed overnight, people weren't sleeping. Like, there's not, people on the other side of the world in different time zones or people that work off shifts or anything. We've automatically just built a straw man of that these people don't even sleep. They're too busy trolling. Oh my God, dude.
Twitter. They were on Reddit. They were in their Yellow Bus Discord, as I like to call it. And they were all talking overnight how they're plotting to take down your channel.
Discord.
And so what they did is they mass flagged your channel to YouTube, stating that you're violating their AdSense policies for having reused content. Okay? So if you haven't heard about this, this is something that happened last.
Yeah, the Yellow Bus Discord, as if all like school buses aren't yellow. Like, obviously I think it was going for short bus. I think that's clear. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he wanted to say that, short bus, but instead he went with yellow bus because he knows that his fans are actually disabled and retarded and did actually have to go on the short bus, which is a tough life. I don't envy it, but like, Yellow Bus Discord is so dumb. Thank you, NWO News, for the 5, saying I have an intentional international audience, and then you're watching me midday. You're a jobless dunce. Absolutely. Like, none of the narrative ever makes sense if you break it down and compare all of the points that he makes. That's part of the DSP charm, dude. The web that he spins is just complete chaos. Connecting any 2 points is an interesting insight.
Last year to a lot of smaller YouTube channels, which I'll be honest, I am one of now. I'm not a big channel anymore, anything like that. You have to understand that I am small time, okay? So what happened was, basically, channels all of a sudden started getting demonetized. And people were like, what's going on? Why are channels getting demonetized? Well, they were getting flagged for this weird reused content reading, and no one knew what that meant. And when people looked into it, it basically was channels who had the same content kind of like uploaded multiple times on their channel. So for example, a stream archive, a clip of the stream, and then actually like highlights and stuff, and it's all the same stuff.
Okay.
So YouTube would say, oh, well, per AdSense, you're basically trying to monetize the same content a ton of times, and that's against our policies, and therefore your entire channel has been demonetized. Yeah. So imagine if overnight DSP Gaming gets demonetized simply because I left the stream archives live. Well, that's the end of my livelihood.
It'd make for a really good rant, to be honest.
Because this channel is where I stream and do most of my content. This channel is where I get super chats, memberships. I can't get demonetized. All right. I just can't. I can't take the chance. So
what's different now than what was different previously? I mean, he never wanted to be demonetized, but it's actually happened before on Twitch, and he just dealt with it. I mean, he begged a lot, and he told everybody that they had to donate all the time and how poor he was, and they had to tip, and he made it a whole thing. But like, he's done it before. It's not actually the end of the world. The roach lives on. That's why he's a roach.
Oh, it's either, hey, take the chance and see what happens when you already have a group of people who have threatened that they're mass flagging you for it anyway, or roll back the changes. Considering that the changes were less than 24 hours old, I rolled back the changes. So the streams of yesterday are now archived and privated, and you cannot see them, and you're not going to be able to see them. We're just going to keep it as is. So when I get people...
NWO News with the 2 saying, this channel is my entire life, in quotes. That's a tough sentence. It's actually, and I if somebody said that about their business, look, I would understand. You make a brick and mortar and you sell fucking tools or vegetables or whatever garbage you sell, right? You fucking make cement for all I give a shit. This business is my entire life, I understand, but this channel where you play games is your entire life, buddy.
Who come by the stream like that guy did yesterday, who's a YouTuber, and he says, hey, Phil, just so you know, when you private your streams, you lose the watch hours of that stream, so you should never do that. Next time I'll respond and I'll say, yes, except that you're not the same as me. You don't have a group of insane, obsessed weirdos who are trying to get you into trouble for things you don't do at every waking moment. And
notice it's things that you don't do. I guess we're just going to look past all of the things that he does do and does deserve to be trolled over. So we're talking about a lot fewer instances now that we've added the qualifier.
You probably won't have these people coming after you and flagging your channel for stuff while I do. Because it's funny, because it's been brought to my attention, oh, well, big YouTubers all do this. Moist Critical, right? He leaves his streams live, but then he also uploads, the gameplay parts later. That's Moist Critical. Dude, that's one of the biggest gaming YouTubers on YouTube. He can do whatever he wants. He's so huge, he has a direct line to
He's
YouTube.
so
He can talk
huge,
to them
he's
at any
so
moment
big,
about
he's
a
so
problem
buff, his hair
to
is so
try to get
healthy.
it fixed. He's not worried about losing his income for a day or two if his channel gets demonetized. It's going to get remonetized. He's fine. I'm not Moist Critical. I'm a tiny little guy who, if I get demonetized, I get screwed over and I can't support my family. All right?
So he does genuinely believe, or at least this is what I'm getting out of this, he does genuinely believe that if he were to be demonetized, YouTube would not do right by him and reinstate his channel into the monetization program, even if he was wrongly taken out. That is genuinely what he's saying. That is how he feels on the subject. And that's where he has put his business. The vast majority of his income comes from a business that he thinks would actually just remove him and not do right by him. What a good businessman this is. I love this strategy. It's very confident. It's very bold. Thank you, NWO News, for the 5, saying, yeah, well, you're not the same as me. 2 days ago, he said, when someone tells me I can't do something, I want to do it even more because you said I can't. This is true. He confirmed how spiteful he is and how he uses that hate to fuel him or whatever the fuck. But today, in this clip that we're watching, we're using it as an excuse. Whatever fits the narrative. You know how it is.
So, yeah, it sucks because, as you know,
5.
I most definitely don't like having
appreciate
to
it.
make changes and or being affected by the actions of these insane people, but I have to be careful. I can't just say, hey, do whatever I want and then lose my livelihood. So we're walking back those changes, all right? Now you might say, well, couldn't you make separate channels for all this? Yes, we've already talked about this, about making a highlights channel and all of that. The problem with making a highlights channel is twofold. Number one, I'd have to get it monetized, or else I'm doing all this work making highlights and clips and putting it on that channel and I make no money on it. To get it monetized, I would have to have thousands of subscribers, ridiculous amounts of watch hours. It would take months. Okay.
He would have to actually qualify his content as being entertaining enough to justify people like making money off of. And he doesn't think he can do it. That's what he's saying. In order to make a clips channel, he would have to actually have people watching the content to initialize the money-making process, and he can't do it because there's just not enough people. Then it sounds like maybe this isn't a venture you really need to get into in the first place. I mean, that seems pretty straightforward to me.
So that's definitely not even worth the effort, to be honest with you, because the second half of this is I don't think that I have enough of a positive audience to move over to a new channel. I don't think it would work. If I started a new channel right now and tried to get a new audience to move over to it, it wouldn't even have enough of an audience to really, be profitable.
Then who is going to watch the content if you put it on this channel, you fucking idiot? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just not justified enough to make the content in the first place if you can't meet the prerequisites.
So there's really no point in doing stuff like that. It just is what it is. Okay? So I hope you guys understand. Sucks.
Yeah, it is actually crutched by Legacy Channel. If he had to compete in today's market to get monetized, to make content if he had to start today, he would never, ever make $1 on making content. It just wouldn't happen. It's simply because he's been around for so long and was able to coast off of what he did until he got lolcow status that he's alive and doing this today. That's literally it.
That I can't do what others do. Sucks that I try to make a positive change for my audience. I outright told you guys, I'm cool with this. Let's do it. Let's give you what you want. And I immediately have to take it back because of nonsense online. Okay? And we have new animations on the stream right now for zombies this week to celebrate Resident Evil Requiem coming out on Friday. So any contributions that are like smaller super chats, gifted subs, etc., are going to have a biohazard themed animation. For a $10 contribution, there's a bigger one. And then for a $100 contribution, there is a very special long animation, but we haven't seen it yet because I've only had these on for a day and I rarely get $100 contributions, which is fine. I'm not complaining. I make...
Oh, guys, I rarely get $100 contributions. I mean, it's fine, but it would be really cool if we could see the animation, you guys. You know, I worked really hard on it, and it would be really cool. This is so fucking cringe, dude. Oh, my God.
well enough, I get great support, so...
Oh. And people, and he wonders why people don't like him, and he acts this way.
Okay.
It's embarrassing.
Okay, so let's see here. It's all good, Rose. Rose is apologizing, saying sorry you had to go through that. It's life. It's just something, again, when everyone asks me, why can't DSP do what everyone else does? This is the answer why. Like, literally, this is the answer why. Because I have a level of scrutiny and or harassment that others don't. So I had a guy come on the stream yesterday, did a $20 super chat, says, hey, I have a successful YouTube channel, and I don't delete my stream archives, and I also upload highlights, and I'm good. It's like, yeah, but you're not me. You don't have people who already mass report you 12 hours after you make a positive change. So there you go.
Victim.
Chris, hello,
Never
good morning,
fault.
and Game Boy,
I never
how
did
you doing?
anything
You guys
wrong.
are trying to get my attention. How you guys doing today? Okay? Okay, so that's what the first thing I wanted to get out of the way. Let's do the other stupid thing and get this out of the way, too, okay?
Oh, here it
The
comes.
fact that
Here we go.
there's a group of people, and I think you'll figure out who they are very shortly, who are hyper-fixated on the banana song meme that my detractors invented many years ago.
There's a group of detractors and trolls and idiots in chat that are obsessed with this. It totally wasn't him bringing it up and talking about it ad nauseum like a week ago, a week from this point. It totally wasn't his own prerogative to make it an entire thing. No. It was everybody else's fault that he talked about it. Right.
Let's go through the entire story of it and get it out of the way, because this way it'll be out there and we can stop talking about it, okay? Years ago, I played Donkey Kong 64 on stream.
And you
Okay?
need the whole history.
The game was
lesson
atrociously
again?
bad.
Oh,
I actually
my
played
God.
it. I want to say it was...
Yo, he must have thought that the format of his excuse wasn't in the correct order or something. You know, like the chronology was in the correct spots. Because he's just giving the same fucking history lesson, but at the beginning this time instead of halfway through.
It was emulated. I don't know if it was on the Wii or Wii U, but basically I played it on the Nintendo service, and it had massive input delay. Okay, so it was hard to play to begin with. It wasn't like it was, a modern version upscaled. It was terrible. It was the original N64 version, barely playable because the controls and everything were delayed. And to make matters worse, Donkey Kong 64 is an insanely annoying, stressful game. It's essentially a collect-a-thon, meaning the entire purpose of the game is to collect coins, bananas, and hidden items through platforming challenges and speed timing runs and things like that. It is such a bad game that it literally almost killed the 3D platformer genre of games in the 90s. It was so...
You know, before the past maybe 10 years or so, I'd never heard anybody say negative things about Donkey Kong 64. What's up with that? What's up with this new Donkey Kong 64 hatred? Because I swear DSP invented it, because I seen him do it first, and then all of a sudden I seen videos of people saying that it's not as good as people say it is or whatever. What's up with the Donkey Kong 64 slander? Because I thought people loved that game. People talk about the songs all the time and the Rumble Pack.
Banked on, and it was so, how can I say? It was so heavily leaned into that it was going to be this giant popular game. Nintendo banked on it, Rare banked on it, and it was so crazily advertised as the next big thing. You've got to buy this, right? So
of course DSP was suckered in and felt like he had to buy the new hotness. Obviously, he fell for the marketing because he's a mark, the biggest one there is.
So basically, it comes out and it's such a bad game. It's review bombed, and everyone says, I can't believe how bad it is. And what ended up happening was game developers started to shy away from platformers after this. It kind of like people didn't want to play them anymore. And then there was games like Spyro and stuff that kind of reinvigorated it after the fact on PlayStation 1. Okay.
So
now,
on the console generation directly in line with the N64 on the PS1? So it didn't ruin platformers for really all that long? Almost like the development cycle of a game or something? Whoa. No way.
why am I bringing up Donkey Kong 64? Well, I did this playthrough.
Spyro was before DK64. Holy fuck, he's got the entire timeline wrong. We're just talking nonsense. We couldn't even confirm. I mean, I didn't either. I believed the guy. I was following the breadcrumb trail he was leaving.
And it's kind of a legendary playthrough. What is this? Oh, that's a sound outside. I was like, what's this sound? Is that the song? No, there's like a loud, shrill sound outside my window. It sounds like a horn or something in the distance that's coming in my window. Okay, I thought it was the music. Okay, it's not the music. Hopefully you guys can't hear it. It's very annoying. So anyway, I did this playthrough of Donkey Kong 64 because we were trying.
I love a DSP side tangent where he talks about an imperceptible noise that only he can hear in real life, and he makes it a part of the stream. I love that part. It's very cool.
We're going to do retro games. We were trying to do different stuff for variety. I think it was like during the summertime when I was playing.
I feel like I'm really there.
And as I
the
started
room
to
with
play it,
them.
I realized all of a sudden, man, I bit off more than I can chew with this game. This game is bad. This isn't just like a game that's laughably bad. This game is like torture to play. There were certain mini games that were so hard to play and win, and it was just a major headache. How can I say? And so what I ended up doing was, as I was playing this game, I came to a realization. Number one, my trolls absolutely loved watching me play it because I was being tortured every moment that I was playing it. Okay, but
I was not among that group. I'd never seen DSP play DK64 up until This Is How You Don't Play and like the Banana Song and shit. I never looked into it. I was not getting pleasure from seeing him be terrible at the game or whatever the fuck he said earlier about people getting pleasure from his content. That wasn't happening. Not on my end.
I was getting attention and views while I played it. I was getting support while I played it. But I also realized that I never wanted to play this game ever again. Okay, ever. Like, this game is so bad. I never want to ever be asked to play this game in my lifetime. And I was thinking to
How'd that go for you? He never wanted to be asked again, so he 100%ed it and forced himself and tortured himself, or whatever he wants to call it, into saying a bunch of nonsense that people grabbed onto, and now he's being asked about it all of the time. Pretty much ever since it happened, people bring up Donkey Kong 64. Really good logic there.
myself,
Really worked out.
how could I ensure that I never have to play Donkey Kong 64 ever again? Okay? So there's two scenarios. Scenario number one, I go back in time, like the Terminator.
Back in time.
Okay, to the time when the game was being developed, and I basically go to Rare, and I prevent the game from ever being made. Okay, so that was option number one. That one would be a little tricky to pull off, I think. Okay, so I went for the harder route, option number two, and I decided that I was going to 100% the game. Okay, getting every collectible, beating every minigame, doing everything possible to achieve in my run in the game. So that way, there's absolutely no reason whatsoever anyone could ever ask me to go back and play Donkey Kong 64 again.
Unless they just wanted to see you suffer, which is what the vast majority of people who know who DSP gaming are want. Again, it really worked out when he put on full display just how insufferable he was during that gameplay. That was never going to be latched onto. Nobody was ever going to hold on to that and make fun of him and bring it up. No,
gotta be clear. If they ever actually redid Donkey Kong 64, like fixed it, made it modern graphics, better controls, a better save system, maybe I would play it again. The problem is the original game is just such a horrid mess. I would never want to replay that version again. Okay? So I did. If you can believe it, it was epic and it was legendary.
It was epic and it was legendary. Oh, man. Oh, God. What an interesting combination of words to describe that, the Donkey Kong 64 gameplay. Epic and legendary.
Percented Donkey Kong 64. It took several weeks, but I got it done. However, there were several times when the game was so stressful, so annoying, and so repetitively ball-breaking that I had a few mental breaks during the course of the playthrough, okay? And so there was this one time where basically I was playing the game, and I don't even remember what happened, but I started singing. I just made it up on the fly. There were many times during the playthrough when I started singing, because I do this sometimes when I'm having a lot of fun, or maybe when I'm really, like, my head's about to explode. I'll just start singing. Okay?
Right. Okay. So we're in part confirming what I was saying earlier about DSP always singing songs all of the time with nonsense lyrics. We haven't confirmed the nonsense lyrics, but we're confirming that we do at least sing all of the time, and it doesn't really even matter whether it's like we're having fun or our brain is about to explode because of stress or whatever the fuck.
So I started singing a song, and I just made up the lyrics on the fly. It wasn't like I'd written down the lyrics and here's a song I made up. I just started singing anything. Okay,
Right, like
so it was a
it's
bunch
nonsense.
of gibberish and nonsense. So it was like,
Whoa, no way.
I want banana, tasty banana, and it was like, I don't even remember. I have the clip. In fact, do we want to bring up the clip again? Because I can't remember what I actually said in this song. Okay, let's find it.
Let's find it. So if you recall, when we watched the clip a minute ago of him talking about the banana song, he was very confident that "In Comes the Nana" was the answer. But now that we're talking about it a week later, all of a sudden we can't even remember what we said. We don't know anything about the song anymore. We've completely forgore.
Let me find it and we'll watch it again so I can get the lyrics correct because I don't remember them.
I don't remember the lyrics,
Here it
but
is,
I'm the
okay?
authority on what they are. Crazy fucking thing to say.
Let's do it. Let's mute this music here. Okay. See, so many people are so crazy, like obsessive, weird, hyperfixated, autistic levels of
That's
crazy
you.
about
That's
the
you, not
song.
me.
They're actually putting the lyrics in my chat right now. Okay. And it's like, what the fuck? They're actually that nuts. For me, this is a one-off moment during the playthrough where I was so stressed and I just wanted to like let loose and I just made something up as I was playing. But to them, it's like an epic meme that they've repeated for like 5 to 7 years, and therefore it's ingrained in their head. To be honest, I don't even remember when I played Donkey.
It's like 2 fucking lines, dude. How could you not remember the 2 lines? He's heard it how many times throughout the years? He watched it 3 or 4 times in the last clip, and that was just a week prior to this. Not even, because I think that was a Wednesday. So it's not even 7 days later, and he's completely forgotten the 2 lines he listened to 4 times and argued against until the fucking cows came home. His wife, of course. So, like...
Kong 64. Let's find out. I actually don't even know that. Let's see. Videos. Actually, I should get playlists.
Now we gotta go find it again.
Let's see when I played
Very
it.
organized style
Donkey Kong
podcast
64
that we have
playthrough.
here.
January 24th, 2020. I played it over 6 years ago. It doesn't feel like that. It really doesn't. And it looks like I played it on my Wii U. It doesn't feel to me it's like it was a 6-year-old or a 6-year-old playthrough at all. It feels like it was just a couple years ago, but I guess it was.
I had no idea when he played DK64. Inked was actually asking me before the stream. And I didn't have an answer for him. I couldn't tell you. The answer is 2020 now. In case if you're here in chat, here's your answer.
Okay, so there's your answer. I didn't even know. All right.
I didn't even know. Okay, we're looking. We're searching.
I'm saying this song, and here it is. I'm going to listen to it. Here we go. Banana, tasty banana, put banana in my mouth, squeeze the baby. Squeeze banana.
He's not even watching it on the
So-
stream. He's like practicing what he's going to lie to you about live in front of you right now. That's what's happening. He had to pre-watch the video so he could ready his retarded lie straight to your face. Actual crazy move. I've never seen anybody so bold with their lying that they actually pre-watched the video to lie to you in front of you.
Literally,
That's insane.
It's 10 seconds. It's
Yeah,
10
and he
freaking seconds.
didn't even sing the part that he's going to argue for right now because he wasn't sure of the words. He did it in front of you.
Okay? Tasty banana, put a banana in my mouth, squeeze the peel, it comes in. And that's the lyric that apparently is up for debate, okay?
You couldn't even hear it. He didn't have it up. He expects you to hear it off of his fucking speakers coming through his microphone. Just a complete shit show.
I don't lyric because it's not a song. It's something that I said because I was crazy. I was so frustrated playing this fucking game. Okay? And my detractors apparently latched onto this banana song and made it into a crazy meme of theirs that they would repeat constantly, that they put into the intros of their videos, and all this crazy shit. To me, I never even knew that it was this thing that they talked about because, again, I don't follow my detractors. So I
don't follow my detractors. I just talk about them all of the time and the things they're planning and how they won't leave me alone. And I can name a big bullet point list on this piece of paper where I write down, of course, of all the things they've ever done to me, but I don't keep up with them. I don't know what they're doing.
Became like a legendary meme in their circles, that they talked about it, that they laughed about it, that they sung it, that they thought it was some kind of a celebratory thing, acting like, oh, you see, this is the joke that DSP is that he made this song during Donkey Kong 64. For me, it's like some innocent, stupid thing that I did to let off steam during a playthrough because I was freaking out. And like I said, I was having mental breaks and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I hate the idea of this grown man telling you he was having mental breaks from playing a fucking video game he didn't like. That's just so soft. That's it. I think that's an embarrassing thing to say if you live in the real world, that playing a video game, and it's not even like I don't want to say a respectable game, but like there's challenges in video games that people are like, oh yeah, it really sucked and I it was bad or whatever. But to say you're having mental fucking breaks over a video game it's tough, man.
Anyway,
the bad look.
So what ended up happening was, after years of this being a thing, I finally caught wind that it was a thing because you guys were talking about it in my chat or whatever. My moderator started telling me about it and stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm
everyone
like,
thought
all right, well,
funny.
I don't really care. Like, it's
Heaven
not a big
forbid.
deal to me that this is some kind of a meme. It's not even offensive or anything. It's just stupid. It's about me singing about squeezing bananas because it was something dumb to do during the Donkey Kong playthrough so that I didn't lose my brain, right? So we actually made an emo of it. We actually made an animation for it. And we made a highlight clip of it that was all thrown into my content, okay? You can see.
He started this clip with, I don't know how the song goes. I'm not very familiar with it. And now he's telling you that a while ago, he had set up an animation. There was an alert noise that went with it. We had a whole theme around it trying to own the meme, but we're not familiar with it. You made animations and alerts and you haven't heard it? What the fuck kind of sense does that make?
Right now in the kick chat, there's my face on the dancing banana. And I actually had that as an animation during last year's Donkey Kong Bonanza playthrough. We would say, I need banana, tasty banana, when a certain level of contribution came in. Okay, and I thought it was great. You guys seemed to like it too. The only bummer was Donkey Kong 64 was boring as shit, right? So it ended up not being as big as it could have been, all right? Now,
it wound up not making as much money as he wanted it to. That's what he just said to you. It wound up not being as big as it could have been. What else could that mean for DSP? I genuinely don't know.
As for the clip, which we will watch now, this highlight clip, which apparently is being hyperfixated on by a bunch of, again, mentally autistic people who can't not focus on shit like this. They think this is important or something.
Okay.
This highlight clip is in my playlist of stream highlights from over the years. I didn't make this clip. This was made by one of my editors a year or two ago. Okay.
So you like had this clip made then?
The editor did is all they did is they took the meme that the detractors made and turned it into a clip. Okay.
Oh.
They didn't actually put like the subtitle on saying, oh, this is what Phil actually said. Unless that's what the detractors have already put in their content. Like that's the lyrics that they've always used. So he literally turned the detractor meme into a clip that I can use in my content. Nothing wrong with that. It's my video, right? So this has been in my...
So then is that not an endorsement of the fact that the words on screen in the video as it's presented is true and authentic, or why else would DSP be watching it and including it in his stream? Like, where's the authority come from then if you are the one that's showing it on your own stream with that edit?
Content for about a year now and has never been an issue. All of a sudden, I think it was a week or two ago, we decided to watch it, all right? Now, I want you to listen and play the clip. Here we go.
Get me that banana. Hold on, right, here we go.
Now pay attention to the subtitles.
I need banana, tasty banana, put banana in my mouth, squeeze the peel, it comes in denim. Squeeze banana.
Here we go again.
Okay, so the subtitle says,
like
squeeze the
DMX
peel,
song.
it comes in denim. However, that's not what I said. And this is what I actually realized last week as I was saying this.
Oh, squeeze the peel, it comes in denim.
I didn't say it comes in denim. It's gibberish. It's me basically just mashing my words together because I'm trying to think up lyrics on the fly, and I can't think of anything.
I thought it was Here Comes the Nana. Now we're talking about how it's gibberish and we were just mashing our lips together to make nonsense noises? Huh? That's not what I was told. That's not the lie I was forced to believe just a week ago. What the fuck? Thank you, Mage. Magelined. For the 2, I really appreciate it. Saying Phil's subhuman. Real. I agree. 100%.
So it sounds like
True.
in comes the nana. Like I'm saying, in
Thanks.
comes the nana. You know, I probably wanted to say in comes the banana, and I realized that's too many syllables. So I just shortened it and cut off the first syllable of banana and said, in comes the nana.
So now we're retconning our own retcon. Now we didn't even say here comes the nana. Now it was a mushmouth because that's what we maybe potentially wanted to say. And then we realized it was too many syllables because, of course, we remember that song or the making of that song and remembering that it was too many syllables as you said it. But we couldn't remember the song in general when asked about it. Right. Of course. That all checks out.
In my mouth,
believe
squeeze
him.
the peel, it comes in denim.
In comes in nanum. In fact, he says in comes in nanum is actually what it sounds like. In comes in nanum. It's just gibberish. It has nothing to do with denim.
Now
Why
we
would
didn't even say nana. So we've completely backtracked on it. We like the thing we said, we didn't say that anymore.
I've even said denim. Is there anything in the game about denim bananas? No. So I don't even know where that comes from. Okay. Now, in reality, does it matter what I said? No. The meme is that it's gibberish, that I'm so brain-addled playing this awful game.
Brain-addled.
That I've lost my mind, and I'm sitting there acting like a fool on stream with my arms up in a Y pose or a T pose, saying, squeeze the peel, squeeze banana in my mouth. Yes, that is funny. And admittedly, I don't think that is a harmful meme in any way. I think it's silly and stupid. Hence why I made emotes of it, why I had animations of it, and why I have this clip on my channel.
Right.
Okay.
Then why are we crashing out about it? Then why are we being irate and upset? How did you own the meme and then start getting upset about it again? It kind of sounds like you didn't own it.
Okay. So it's not a big deal. But if you're going to sit there and tell me that this is me saying squeeze the peel, it comes in denim,
It comes in denim.
that's not what it said at all. Factually, there you
And the fact that every time he plays the clip, even if you've got your eyes closed and you're not reading the subtitles and you don't know, it absolutely you could justify saying it comes in denim. Absolutely. Every time he plays the clip.
can listen to it, that's literally not what's said. You can say that's what it is. I don't give a shit, but it's wrong.
You do.
Okay, you're just wrong. And the thing is, my detractors absolutely positively cannot take an L. Because in their mind, if ever they're proven wrong, oh my God, that means Phil got a W. That means Phil's correct. Well, I am correct. I did not say denim.
Who
Why
gives
would
a
I have
shit?
said that? I'm not wearing denim.
The subtitles for all of the songs say it comes in denim. That's what they say. If you don't care, and that's what the subtitles are saying, and that's what the creators of the actual songs say that the word is, why are we talking about it? Why are we not moving on positively? It's because Atlas needs to hold the L about a song that I don't even listen to. I'll be honest, I was never the biggest fucking this version of this song.
There's no denim in the game. There's no banana denim. And you can really see
Didn't
that
like
I'm
it
just
till
going with my
Meerkat
mouth.
made it,
It's just a
okay?
gibberish noise. Now, the subtitle was made by my editor because he was copying the detractor meme and making a clip of the meme for my stream. So there you go. Are we done with this now? It doesn't matter. It's completely
Are
fun.
we
It's funny
done with
because people
this?
were like,
The host asking if he's allowed to move on is always so lame too. Brother, it's your stream. Take control. Be the man you claim you are. Thank you, Tezosaurus, for the 2, saying it's hard to believe people dislike this guy. I agree. This is the best content creator on the internet. He's so based and right all of the time, and he's always felting everyone that dislikes him. He's just so likable.
so now the meme is banned and now everyone. No, not at all. The meme is not banned. The emo is still live in the chat. I could still bring back that animation whenever I want. I still have it. We still have the clip on the channel. I'm not going to change the subtitle. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about any of this. This is so stupid.
I don't even care, guys.
Okay?
I say on my second
I
20-minute
don't
crash
care.
out.
All right? Someone says turn on YouTube closed captions. YouTube closed captions? Are you fucking retarded?
Now, please listen to this. So, look at the closed captions, DSP. Check what it says. And we immediately dismiss it like it's a Call of Duty kill cam, as if it could never be correct ever and it's not even worth checking. Oh my God. Guys, YouTube captions, they're so stupid and wrong all the time.
They're like always wrong. They're always incorrect. They're horrible closed captions. They're always saying the wrong words. 90% of the time it says the wrong thing in YouTube's closed captions. If that's where you guys got this from, maybe that is what happened, where people were playing back the clip. Like, what did Phil just say? So they turned on YouTube closed captions, and it said, YouTube closed captions says it comes in denim. If that's the case, you're an actual retard. Like, you actually thought that you could trust YouTube's AI to generate closed captions correctly. I'm actually...
If it's actual mushmouth, though, and you're making a song, and you don't know what the word is, and that's your best guess, who fucking cares? Just go with it. That doesn't make you retarded. You're just getting the job done. You're making a fucking song, dude.
Curious now if that's what it says. Let's find out. Okay.
Also, I agree. Usually, the YouTube closed captions, this is from Big Mags. Usually, YouTube closed captions are actually half decent. Like, of course, they don't get everything right, especially if you're dealing with words that aren't real words, like Snortex. Probably not going to get that one. But for the most part, if you talk like a normal, sane individual, they're fine.
Put banana in my mouth, squeeze the peel, it comes in denim.
No.
Squeeze banana.
No, look. Squeeze the peel, it comes in, and it doesn't know what I said because it's gibberish, so it doesn't say denim.
It says comes in then. Squeeze banana. It thinks you said in then.
And then it jumps to then squeeze banana. So even...
But the line isn't then squeeze banana. He's not even familiar with the fucking song.
YouTube's own closed captioning system couldn't identify the word. It made it gibberish, and it deletes the word because it doesn't know what it is. It doesn't say denim. Done.
So now YouTube is right, guys. Because it validated what he was thinking, all of a sudden YouTube is absolutely right. They are the arbiter of truth. This is the way that it has to be, and it always was, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Simply because it went with his narrative. This is how it goes every single time with DSP. He just told you that YouTube closed captions are never fucking correct until they said what he said, and then all of a sudden they were the truth.
We're done with this
Crazy.
shit forever. You can eat a fucking dick. Seriously, every one of you fucking weird, obsessive losers on the internet can eat a fucking dick. Even the thing you thought would back you up didn't back you up. You're fucking retards. Okay, now we can move on. Finally, it's over.
And now he's taking his triumphant victory lap all over you fucking idiots. You said that it was this other thing, and the source that he claimed is always lying, backed him up. Therefore, common DSPW, and you're all seething.
And now we could all just go enjoying nonsense on the internet again and stop obsessing over stupid shit because these people are so fucking stupid. Okay. God damn. All right. Good. And by the way, you could say denim in the chat. I don't care. It really doesn't bother me. Here's what bothers me. Okay, this does bother me. When people absolutely insist, absolutely insist,
right, that
I did something that I never did. All right, that pisses me off. That's like a pet peeve of mine that I can't let go. If you
and there you go. DSP just told you what about this is getting under his skin, and now you have a battle plan for the next time you want to do this. If you want to rattle DSP, I guess just start gaslighting him and make a meme big enough that people think that he did something he claims that he didn't do, like give away empty game boxes or something. There you go. He just explained how easy it is to fuck with him. Please don't use that against him. I wonder why he's fucked with so often.
I want to say, Phil, you acted like an absolute buffoon. You sang a bunch of gibberish. You lost your mind during Donkey Kong. It's an absolute embarrassment. I'd say you're right. You're right. It's not a serious thing. Who cares? But definitely you're right. That happened. If you're going to tell me that I said denim, I never said denim, you're an idiot.
Gotcha,
Done.
bitch.
Okay? And you've been proven wrong, and you can kiss my butt. Okay, cool. Oh, now this is hilarious. You ready? Here it comes. Person in Kick Chat. Hey, I'll stop going on about this. Let's move on. Of course you want to move on, because I got the W. Just like last week.
No, because it's not fucking important. The only people who care about this are detractors. That's what detractors say when they get to the end of the rant, and they're low-key also tired of hearing about it because it's such a nothing dumbass topic in the first place. Bro, move on. What are we doing here? This is insane and crazy. You look wild. How does he not understand this? I say it all of the time to myself when DSP is talking about nonsense during the level 1 pre-stream. Bro, what are we doing here? Move on. Who cares about this? Like, it's interesting to me to see you crash out, but if we're actually looking at what entertaining content could be on DSP Space Gaming for his real fans, this ain't it.
Right? Last week, when we were talking about the whole thing with demonetization and YouTube ad revenue and engagement. And then we were talking about LTG maybe has a kid. And why wouldn't every single woman in the state of California claim that there's a baby daddy so they can get a free paycheck from a court ruling? And as soon as I won the argument, hey, let's move.
Another crazy thing to talk about. You see how that's not a really good example of how this is a problem, because once again, that is a topic that is only going to be interesting to detractors. Only trolls and reprobates on the internet are going to care about that. That's not cool, positive, chill gaming content. That's when people say DSP move on. I think they're right in doing so, actually.
Move on. Of course you want to move on, because you're a fucking pathetic, limp-dick loser. And you want to argue with me about something until I win. And then when I win, you want to move.
I win. I won my virtual argument, guys. You won't let me collect my virtual W, and I'm seething about it. Just terminally online behavior. This is what he cares about. This is what he thinks about. This is what gets under his skin. Not getting virtual W's. Meanwhile, people will actually tell him to his face that his wife is fat and call her out her name and shit, and he'll totally let that slide by. Okay. Thank you, Scrappy CC, for the 2, saying shout out to the Eat It apparel. Yeah, it might be his Sonichu medallion.
Move on because, oh, you lost. So let's not dwell on the fact that I was fucking right and you're an idiot, right? Let's move on. Okay, let's move on and agree you're an idiot. Sounds good to me. Let's go.
Redbird, thank you so much. I missed it. For the 2. Where did it go? It was right there. For the 2, saying, was he losing his mind back then or now? Mental break. Great question. Great. I wish I could tell you, but as the narrative is actively changing right this second, I'm still developing my opinion, and by that I'm waiting to be told what DSP wants me to think. So I can't tell you yet. I'm being a dent.
The Nickster97 did a $5 super chat and says, if you believe you didn't say it, turn on YouTube closed captions. The copium is crazy. We did, and YouTube acknowledged it as gibberish and didn't say denim. You lose. Thanks for $5.
You lose.
Thanks, Nickster, who now your name will be on my leaderboard all day. Thanks for the challenge. I'm always up for it.
Is that another DSPW or is that a DSPL? Like, what do we... I'm not sure where to put that on the scoreboard, that the troll is going to be on the troll name is going to be on the stream all day. Thank you, NWO News, for the 2, saying he's lusting over the Saturn stick real bad. The Saturn stick? I must have missed something. He was talking about Saturn games recently, wasn't he?
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for the 2, NWO News. I missed the joke.
And then Vassal with a 1313 super chat says the detractors will be on their deathbed suffering from dementia, and their family will be saying, "What is DSP and why is he talking about bananas?"
Oh, it's an LTG meme.
Yeah.
Fuck.
They'll be their last breath, right? What is it? Oh my God, Grandpa, tell us, what is the combination to the safe that holds the family fortune? What is the password to the $5 billion of Bitcoin that we can all be rich forever? Tell us now, Grandpa, your final words on your deathbed.
So stupid.
Here we go. And he said, Grandpa, and he goes, it comes in denim.
You know, at least in that story, he's like the troll. Like, listen to this in the story. The troll is a grandfather to multiple grandchildren that they're asking him to access to their infinite wealth or whatever, so that they can live happy and prosperous lives. And he says the password is "it comes in denim." Meanwhile, DSP will never have children. Him and his wife will both die young because they couldn't take care of their bodies, and they will own nothing and they will pass on nothing. He's already painted himself in a terrible light here, because even when talking about the trolls, they're still far better off.
Now this is correct.
And what's funny is that's pure projection on his behalf as well, because you've heard him say he talks to his wife about what the trolls are saying. You know, in real life, he is actively doing things and moving in ways specifically to try and thwart any sort of troll activity, right? So it will be DSP who's on his deathbed going, "Those fucking trolls took everything," and then passing away on stream, hopefully to get his channel removed. Like, that is where he will be. Just a massive projection.
In fact, someone tipped a buck, says there's clips of you talking about denim and bananas in the same playthrough. You can see for yourself, own it and move on. And that's because the detractors brought it up. If you remember, after that song, the detractors started coming into my streams and saying things about bananas and denim and shit, and I didn't know what they were talking about. All I was doing was reading their comments and responding to them because I didn't know what the hell anyone was talking about. So you would joke about it or you would try to react. That's all it was. They made it up. They came to the streams and presented it as fact when it wasn't, and they had me respond. That's all it was.
Oh, okay. So he might have said and started talking about bananas and denim during the Donkey Kong 64 playthrough, but that was simply because he was made to say it by the trolls. He was only responding, you guys. So it's completely irrelevant, I guess.
I never actually said it. I just responded to what was being presented to me.
I never actually said it. I just said it when it was presented to me. Got it. Got it. That's not a contradictory sentence whatsoever. Thank you, NWO News, for the 2, saying, they made me say denim. From the Puppet Master. Of course, DSP himself. Exactly. Nothing is ever his fault, and when it is, it's somebody else, or it's never his fault, it's somebody else's fault, until it is his fault, in which case he never did that, and then maybe even if he did do it, it's okay that he did it because of whatever retarded reason he comes up with.
Again, you have to understand, I literally don't watch detractor content. Ever. I don't know anything of that they're saying about me, ever. I pay no attention. I only know when you guys come and present it to me in my chat during a live stream, then I'm, oh, okay. But I don't know what the hell they're saying or doing. So, for example, this whole thing overnight about they were going to mass flag my channel to try to get me in trouble because I wanted to leave my streams now archived. I only know because someone sent it to me and showed me the evidence. They said, here's the Twitter post, here's the Reddit post, and here's their yellow bus Discord chat about it last night.
So there's the yellow bus again.
Probably protect you.
We didn't bother correcting our flub from earlier. We're just doubling down.
And I was like, thank you. Because by the way, for the record, even though I don't watch detractor content, anything that's harmful still gets around to me anyway. So I do get to protect myself from the nonsense. And I'm grateful to those who share that information with me because I just don't care to follow their loser lives and the crazy shit that they say and do. But I need to know when something serious is going on that may hurt my livelihood. And in this case, overnight, that was one that could have hurt my livelihood.
Right. So then he does actually have to care about what the trolls are doing. And he does actually have to be informed. And it does impact the way that he streams and the way that he moves about it in the real world and the way that he conducts business on his channel. Unlike all of those times that he says that he doesn't care about the trolls and they have absolutely no impact whatsoever.
I'm glad that I was made aware of it. And I always get wind of it. Even if I'm not involved and I don't watch it and I don't care about it, I always get wind of it. It just sucks because
I always get wind of it, he says. I always hear about what the trolls are ultimately talking about. As we're reminded by NWO News for the 2, saying someone also told him about Derek too. So I guess if we want to believe DSP and he always gets wind of it and he's always on the defensive and he's always operating, we'll call it. Maybe he decided to not do that about Derek on purpose. If that's the bet he wants to make, he can go ahead and lie in it.
I wish I could just completely ignore it, but I can't. So it's hilarious because I don't pay attention to it, but people like tattle. They tattle on these people constantly. And you know, it is themselves. They tattle on themselves because they feel, oh, I can, I'll get this guy in trouble because I don't like him. So I'll go tattle to DSP about what this guy is going to do. It's so fucking weird. Isn't that weird? It's bizarre behavior. It's definitely not normal human behavior. There's some weird shit going on there where their heads have been snapped and, you know.
You know what it also isn't? This also is just proof that detracting isn't a hive mind, as DSP always said, that it's not a cult, that there's disagreements on how people do things. When it comes to DSP, what they say, what they actually do in real life, how far they take it. So we've just yet again proved that DSP doesn't ever mean anything he says and doesn't truly believe it. And he's just always talking nonsense. Because this is very clearly not a hive mind if there's disagreements and I don't know if you want to call them betrayals or undercutting or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Their psyches are broken. I don't know. Anyway, Hobo X is correct. He said,
yeah, we're self-tattling ourselves.
Is not supposed to ever apply to your own videos, which is ironic, but I get that you're being cautious. You're right, but this is where a big problem happened last year. People's channels were affected. People who had long-running YouTube channels got demonetized, and they were like, what the fuck are you talking about, YouTube? Some of them were able to get it overturned, and some of them weren't. And that's awful. Imagine you're getting your channel demonetized, all the hard work you've done over the years for an AI loophole is essentially what it is. That AI flags your channel because it doesn't know what the fuck it's doing. Because, you know, it doesn't, you know, YouTube runs mostly on AI these days. So
and notice that he had to start that with imagine your channel gets demonetized for an AI loophole or whatever. And that's exactly the thing, is most people would have to imagine that because they don't have channels that make money. They go to fucking work. This guy is bitching, moaning, crying, and complaining about the idea of being demonetized when when these normal style individuals, the ones that aren't actually like retarded children in his chat, are going to work. They would have to imagine having life so easy that monetizing videos is all that they would have to worry about, and not physically going to work and getting something done, accomplishing something in the real world.
You're right. It shouldn't apply. But with my luck and the fact that people will be mass reporting me for it, it probably would. So I got to err on the side of caution. I can't lose my livelihood. Uh-oh. Oh, they do. There it is. Holy fuck, it's expensive. I mean, I don't care. I can afford it. But goddamn.
Oh, yeah. I forgore about this too, guys. We're talking about Wendy's for a brief second.
$14 for the cheesy bacon cheeseburger at Wendy's. What the fuck is going on in American fast food? $9.14? They're insane. Oh my gosh. Wow.
I was looking, speaking of $9 fucking sandwich, I was looking at my local fast food chain for a fish sandwich yesterday being that it was Friday. And $9 for a fish sandwich? Fuck yourself, dude. I agree.
Okay, there's the new chicken tender.
Hey, I hate agreeing with DSP, but $9 for a sandwich is crazy work. And it wasn't even DoorDash.
Ranch wrap, we're going to get that. So we're going to get the wrap, we're going to get the burger, and I'm going to get an order of chicken tenders, and I'm going to get all of the sauces. Okay?
Wow, can you not afford no, not for a sandwich.
Wendy's tenders
I'm too frugal, dude.
Come in denim. Squeeze the tender. It comes in denim. All right, we can get it. We're going to do the new burger, the new wrap, and we're going to get the tenders with the dipping sauces, and that's going to be DSP Tries It today. All right, good. Thank you for helping me figure that out. I didn't even know they had a new burger. There you go.
I didn't even know.
I haven't done fast food like this in a while, so it'll be something different, that's for sure.
He hasn't had fast food like this in a while. What has he been eating recently? I swear we just ate fast food the other day. Hang on. Wait a minute. I'm going to let him play. I'm going to go find out what we've been eating.
Merrick
I don't watch him.
says the BK Whopper is now about the same price. You understand that Whoppers used to be 2 for $5 as a
DSP
regular price at
reacts.
Burger King, and that wasn't even that long ago, right? Right before COVID, it was 2 for $5 Whopper deal at Burger King, regular thing on the menu. Now it's $9 for a single Whopper. So here's the truth, all right? Here we go. Political conspiracy theorist filled, but here we go. COVID, literally.
Wait, hang on. Before we do that. So 4 days ago, he had Wendy's. 11 days ago, he had IHOP, which I guess is not fast food, I guess. And then he had crumble cookies like a week before that. And before that, he had Shake Shack. Is Shake Shack not fast food? I thought a Shake Shack was a chain. So he hasn't had fast food in 2 weeks. So he's bragging about how long. I mean, I guess that's longer than probably a lot of people go, but it's not like it's been months.
Was used as the scapegoat for all of these corporations to exorbitantly raise their prices and claim that inflation is the reason, when in reality, they're greedy fucks and they just want to make way more money from you. So they did this and say, oh, look, well, there's a shortage of this. It's 2026. There's no more shortages. Everything is in abundance. COVID effects are...
Everything is in abundance, guys. There's no shortages anywhere on the planet for anything. It's just absolute abundance everywhere you go, and they're still charging you up the ass. The genuine DSP take.
6 years in the fucking past, there is no scarcity of food. There's no pipeline bottlenecks. Everything's fine. Yet the price...
There's no bottlenecks or pipeline issues whatsoever. Yo, did they ever rebuild that bridge that went down in fucking, like, Maryland or Baltimore or whatever the fuck? Did they ever fix that? Just a question. That might cause a supply problem. I just genuine question. I'm pretty sure that turns like a 2-hour ride into like a 30-minute one is what they said. But was it in Philly? And they did? Okay, cool.
Prices are still high.
They're working on it. No, it's not finished. What the fuck? You guys are lying.
Why? What's supposed to happen is supply and demand. When the supply catches up and the demand is calming down, the prices are supposed to drop, but they never did. What's going on? There shouldn't be $9 single cheeseburgers when 6 years ago it was 2 for $5. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Make your own fucking cheeseburger then, dude. Like, I get bitching, moaning, crying, and complaining about how expensive things are, but then he continues to purchase them. He continues to go out of his way to spend that money despite vehemently being against all of their business practices and what they're charging for the product. If you don't fucking value it that much, don't get it, bro. That's actually all you have to do. Just don't purchase the shit. If people don't purchase this shit, they go out of fucking business, and then you get to dance on the corpse. And that's the most entertaining part. Thank you, NWO News, for the 2, saying you heard it. Tips are in abundance. Don't tip. Well, exactly. There's no shortage of anything.
Someone's benefiting from this, and it ain't us, right? It's someone else out there who seems to be pulling the fucking strings and making a fortune off of us, and no one's doing anything about it.
DSP's noticing. He's going to start calling them they and putting the fucking parentheses
Let's
around.
do something
No
about
way.
it. Let's get up and let's protest. Let's go, everyone. Get your fucking sign. Start writing a marker. We're going to
He's
protest.
spending too much time on the internet. He needs to close Twitter, bro.
Let's go. Come on. Let's get out there. Let's get into the streets. Come on. Let's go. Oh, wait. That's right. I have a stream to do. I have a job. You know, I actually have to work. I can't go protest. I always wondered about these people who, like, every
Right.
single time something happens, they're in the streets protesting. Like,
Here's an Unk take 2. DSP watching MSNs for sure, talking about people being paid to protest. This level 1 take
who are you?
here.
Like, don't you have a life or a job? Don't you have to go to school or work? Don't you have a responsibility? Why are you able to go protest? Like, there's things that I am totally against and I would love to go protest, but I have a job. I have a living. I have a responsibility to support my family. I can't just go protest. So who are these fucking people that just in a moment, oh my God, the price of burgers is too high. Let's protest. Come on, everyone. What the fuck? Like,
Well, Sam Reynolds, this isn't do they, don't they get paid. This is DSP talking about it on his stream as if he has any authority or anybody gives a shit about his opinion and finds it valid. That's more the issue.
who are
here.
these people? If COVID events are 6 years in the past, why'd I ditch the 10-year plan? Because the 10-year plan was based on things 7 years ago now that were bad, and now things are good. The
Things are
10-year
great
plan
now.
was a very
Like he said, everything is in abundance. There's no shortage of anything. So tips are good, life is good. Stop giving him money.
simple, okay? Things were going very poorly for me, okay? Things were on a downward turn for my work. I was making less money. People were fucking with me all the time, and basically I was in financial ruin. I needed to make a turnaround, and the 10-year plan that was discussed was, with 10-year span, I was going to phase myself out of being an online content creator, get an IRL job, and start to go into an IRL career. And by the end of 10 years, I just done with streaming, and I'm doing stuff offline for the rest of my life. That's what the 10-year plan was, because at that
Oh, to live in that world. Whatever parallel universe that is, I want to go to there. That seems like the place I would rather live. DSP just went and got a job. He got the good ending. He was a character the whole time, maybe even in that universe. Oh, buddy.
point in my life, so much was being controlled by nonsense on the internet, right? My income, my livelihood, whether I could even afford to do basic shit, it's fucked up, right? But things turned around. Things are much better now. I'm in control of my destiny. I have a great job that's doing really well, right? I'm doing well for myself for many years now. I'm on an upward.
He's in control of his destiny, but he just was talking about how he can't upload content to his own channel in a format that might be beneficial because the trolls would take it down and he would lose his entire livelihood. But he's in control of his destiny, you guys.
Trend. Why on earth would you say, I need to phase out of something that's doing much better now and I'm in a better position in my life? In fact, what's happened is since COVID, the whole thing flipped on its head because it used to be, oh, well, if I get an IRL job, right, that's going to be more consistent. That's going to be more dependable, career and everything. But it's the opposite now. Now in the United States, the job market out there is so bad, even though you don't hear about it reported this way, but the job market out there is so bad, most people don't have a full-time job. What they have is 2 or 3 part-time jobs because they won't even get a full-time job anymore. No one will hire them for one. That way they don't get health care. They don't get benefits. They get nothing. They just have to go from.
I think this really depends on where you live. Because, I know there's a lot of people that do gig work and they have multiple jobs or whatever. But most people I know in real life just have full-time jobs. Like, people that are of, full-time age, they go full-time to work. That's, I don't know. Maybe it's a big city thing or like a more urban style area. But most people I know have full-time jobs, in the Midwest at least.
Job to job, bouncing around, trying to keep a fucking living, trying to make ends meet for their families. The era of career jobs where you start at the bottom, you work hard, then you get a mid-level position, then you get like a manager's position, then you get like a supervisor position, and then you can do that. Doesn't exist anymore. Now you're at the bottom your whole life. You're a fucking ant that gets stepped on, misused. You don't get the hours you want. You don't get the health care you need. You get nothing. And that's the American employment system in 2026.
The pasta maker with the 2 saying, telling on Kat with this rant, she's unemployed. That can't be true. That's why she woke him up, or that's why she was yelling at him the other night, bro. She totally had to go to work in the morning. Come on. There was definitely a section where she was unemployed. And he's had those rants before where he talks about the job market and how tough it is out there, despite him never having to go through it because she had to at one point. Because she's the one that is working part-time, like retail jobs or whatever.
So essentially, and by the way, not true. Okay, ban you. Not true. Fuck you. Since you
you don't agree with my narrative, all you losers are getting fucking banned. There's no time for dissent around here. I've got a plan.
think you know better, go out there and get a fucking job because you don't have one. That's why you're sitting on my stream right now, midday. You don't have a fucking job, so you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
International audience, by the way, people all over the world from different time zones, but you're here midday watching my content so I can make money? Fuck you, banned. Jobless.
Okay. So anyway, as I was saying, that's the American life now. If I had quit being a streamer and went out there and got a job, likely already I would have had to jump 2 to 3 jobs. Even if I was good at what I was doing, I probably would not have retained a job. I would have had to jump 2 to 3 jobs. I barely would be making ends meet. I'd probably be working 2 or 3 separate jobs right now. It would be a nightmare. So
that just shows you how confident he is with his own ability to do work that people actually value. He even in a made-up fantasy realm that he created within his own mind, he is so unconfident in his ability to be valued at work that he would think that he would have to get multiple jobs just to make a living and continue to survive. Okay, I mean that's fine, and that's a reality for some people, but I would have higher hopes for myself in my own fantasy reality that I make up in my own mind.
God, I didn't do a knee-jerk reaction and immediately say, I'm phasing out and quitting streaming, and I'm going to start doing IRL stuff. It actually would have actually ruined me. I really feel that. Because the truth is, all the prices have skyrocketed and gone up. Literally everything that we spend money on is now more expensive, but I would have been out there struggling to juggle IRL jobs to make ends meet and do the bare minimum. Luckily with me, I stuck.
Maybe this is him being realistic and being the most true to himself he's ever been. Even he understands that he's unlikable and unemployable.
With it, I worked hard. I did some interesting things in the last couple of years. I think we can all agree that got me some more prominence, that got me some more attention on the internet, and it certainly got me a hell.
Yeah, the way that he said that, I did some interesting things, makes it sound like he opened a fucking OnlyFans or something, and he's really just talking about like collabing with Kino Casino. But you'd have thought that he was showing a whole online or something.
Of a lot more attention in regards to people who like my content, support it, and it got me upgraded to the point where now I'm actually modernized and people are coming and supporting in droves, which is amazing, right? And because of that now, I'm doing so much better. I'm way better off. Thank God. Because, you know, it would have been the opposite. Again, I think that would have been the worst decision if I'd given up on all of this and said, I throw in the towel, you know, I'm never going to get better. Nothing's going to turn around for me. I'm going to stop trying. I give up. And instead, I'm just going to go out there and try to get some jobs. And I think it would have completely destroyed me. I probably would have had to give up this house. Just being honest, I probably would have had to give up this house entirely and move into a smaller place, which, by the way, probably wouldn't have been much more less expensive because, again, the prices have skyrocketed. The mortgage I pay on this house is about...
You know, when he talks about the house, you'd think that he has like a separated unit and he's got a yard and he's in this gated community and it's nice, but he lives in a triplex. He shares walls with other people the same way like you would in an apartment. He's just living in a glorified apartment unit. But you would have thought that he lives in some clapped out mansion.
Out the same that you would pay for a tiny apartment in this area where I live. I'm not exaggerating. So I want you to think about that.
Like, granted, he does have a lot of space. I have to give him that. The inside of his house is rather nice. It's got tall ceilings. It's got the staircase and multiple floors. It's got the Euclidean closet. That's pretty neat. It's got multiple bathrooms. That's a luxury to have. But he's still sharing walls. He just has an expensive apartment.
I would have had to sell the house, okay, to move into an apartment that's smaller, but pay the same. Pretty messed up, right?
It's what we call a condo.
No,
and he does not need a space that big, by the way. Like, I seen it in chat just a second ago. There's multiple entire rooms. Aaron said this. Entire rooms that are just storage for hoarded trash that he doesn't need anymore. If he just downscaled, he could totally live in a much smaller space and save a fortune. But of course, he wouldn't be big and successful if he lived in a smaller place. If he didn't live in such a grandiose space with so much empty room for his trash.
Job is not exposed to downturns in the economy like an IRL job. It actually isn't, because I've had ups and downs, and literally no matter what happens out there, people come watch and support. It's been a constant. It's been actually the one constant. Is that doesn't matter if I'm on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick. It doesn't matter if I'm doing an on-demand video, if I'm streaming, if I'm doing a combination of both. People have been along for the ride and will be. Okay? It's that simple.
Yeah, you're
it's
a
never
lolcow
changing.
with
It's kind of the constant. Anything else that I've ever done in my life has been fluctuating and changing. This hasn't. This has remained stable.
I also think it's crazy to be like, this is the only thing in my life that's ever been stable, while he also simultaneously never gave anything else ever a chance to try and be anything. And he always shot everything down all of the time if it wasn't what he was currently doing. So he doesn't have really any experience with anything else. This could be the only thing that could possibly ever work. He never tried anything else.
And I think what it is, it's just you get to a certain level. When you get to a certain level of whether it's you've just been doing it for so long, so everyone knows you as a staple that's going to be around and they'll check you out from time to time, or it's because a lot of people have been around for me for this ride that I've been on, and they feel like it's part of a journey that they're on too, and so it's worked, 100%. I'll give you a few examples, okay? So, example number one, and this one was just so long ago, right? When I first was going to use Patreon, which at the time, everyone was jumping on using Patreon. So this was like 11 years ago. I think it was like 2015 when I started using Patreon, right? One of the things...
He says everybody was using Patreon, but the fighter and the kid only started recently. Imagine being behind the curve of DSP. Big ups Bappa, of course. All my homeless cats know.
Things that was examined and was being considered was
Ready
doing
for my barn
private
move,
content
dude.
for my biggest supporter.
Get out of that
so maybe
storage
if you're
unit.
someone who joins at the highest level of Patreon, or you're contributing a certain amount a month, then you have exclusive access to an early video or an early stream. And right out of the gates, before we even had like thought about the idea and figured out exactly what it would be, my detractor said, well, we're going to immediately have one person pay for it. So let's say it was a $20 a month contribution to get in on this exclusive club, right? We're just going to have one person pay $20. They're going to go in, they're going to rip that content, and they're going to put it right out on the internet. If you do a private stream, we're going to give that link, and we're just going to publicly post it all over the internet. You will never be able to use Patreon for anything private whatsoever because we don't like you.
But the people that like DSP enough to give him money in the first place probably would not, I would hope, not click on those streams or not watch that content in the free illegal way, and would instead give him the money that they think that he deserves. I never really saw, like, I understand that a portion of people wouldn't do that. They would go and watch the freestyle content, the illegal version, I guess. But there is still an amount of money to be made there, and by just completely kowtowing and giving up on this idea because of what the detractors claimed that they were going to do seemed really short-sighted to me. It's just a common detractor W, enforcing the way that DSP is and isn't allowed to make in content. To make his own content for his own channel.
So immediately there was something that I was never able to do, right? Because of the detractors. I guess there is another one. The only other one that really comes to mind is the whole sponsorship deal thing. I can never get a real sponsor, ever. Like, even if there's someone who we like your content, you could use the product and it's something that we think would sell with your viewers, I could never get a sponsor. Because the moment that anyone says we're going to give something for free, we're going to give you an advanced copy for a review, we're going to give you a product to plug, and then you get a code or whatever.
Yeah, exactly, Cypher. SOK did that. They were the ones that said that they would take his Patreon content and release it for the world to see and lose him all of that money. But he'll tell you today that the SOK were far better because they didn't make any money off of their own content, and their criticisms were somehow valid, despite them being pretty much the same criticisms people have in the modern day. Yeah, make that one make sense.
My detractors.
Also, we can't get sponsors because of detractors. But for years, he would have told you that he didn't get sponsors because he didn't want them, because he's real and authentic and not beholden to anybody.
Going
the narrative is all over the place.
That company. And that company, whether or not they care, because most of the time, the company doesn't give two shits about me or anything that I've done. It's just that they bow down and bend over for people on social media these days. A lot of these companies are like beholden to the internet, right?
Right. These companies are beholden to their public opinion about them. Who would have thought that companies that rely on customers and public opinion to be positive in order to sell products are worried about people having a negative opinion about them. Whoa, crazy concept.
And so, if you're going to get a
Business
hate
degree
mob
over
coming at you because you have association with Darkside Phil, you're just going to cut the association with Darkside Phil. And it's happened with chair companies. It's happened with video games. And it happened on Twitch. I couldn't believe the way that Twitch behaved. Okay, seriously. The way that Twitch behaved was disgusting because they outright lied to me, which is insanely dishonest. So with Twitch, they started a program where it was a sponsored program where they would have a dashboard. And if you were a partner on Twitch, you would see offers. Play this game for a certain amount of time on stream and receive a sponsorship fee for it. Okay? So the first one I tried to do was World of Tanks. I signed up for it. I told you guys I was going to do it.
I never saw DSP play World of Tanks. Was it epic and legendary, guys? Did he have a really fun, robust, chill time? Does anybody remember the World of Tanks stream?
Actors went and contacted the World of Tanks devs and harassed them. And they went to Twitch and told Twitch, we don't want Phil to do that because we're going to get a bunch of hate on social media for it. So Twitch turned it off, even though I signed up for it. When I was going to do it, Twitch contacted me and said, oh, that doesn't exist anymore. I said, what do you mean? Oh, that's an error. It doesn't exist anymore. Okay. Then I reached out to my mods and I said, so you guys are in the partner program. Do you still have the World of Tanks sponsorship? Yeah, we have it. So they lied. They didn't actually, it wasn't that it wasn't available. It's that they were taking it away from me because they didn't want my trolls to harass people on social media.
Right. They made it unavailable to you. They just left off the last part. I guess a lie of omission, but they did tell you the truth. It's just not available, and it never will be, and nothing else ever will be. It's fine. I don't want to sit here and defend Twitch, but I would imagine if the people that are giving you money contact you and say, hey, we're not going to give you money because we're getting harassed because of X, Y, or Z, they would probably solve the problem. And the problem was DSP, and they solved it.
Which is something I don't control. Obviously not my fault, but I get punished for it, okay? Then there was another small game. I don't even remember the name of it anymore, but it was an indie game. I took the sponsorship opportunity.
This was LO Hell or whatever that fucking game was called. Something
I was
like that.
playing their game on stream, and as I'm playing it, the detractors went to their Discord, harassed them. They reached out to Twitch, and Twitch basically said, well, it's too late. Phil's already playing the game. There's nothing we can do. Hands are legally tied. It was a contract you signed. There was never any criteria saying only certain people could do this sponsorship, so he's got to get paid. So I did get paid for that one, okay? And then there was another one, and this was the last one I ever got, was for Assassin's Creed. Now, I don't remember particularly which Assassin's Creed game it was. It was many years ago. Again, this was when I was on Twitch, right? And I, just like everybody else, I was already playing the game. Like, I'd already been playing this particular Assassin's Creed game.
Imagine that. DSP was already he was like first in line to start playing the Ubisoft game. Who would have thought? Crazy, I know.
And then the opportunity showed up in the dashboard,
unlike him.
and I took it, and I streamed the game. As I'm streaming the game, once again, my detractors go to the Ubisoft social media. They start harassing them and shit. And so they went to Twitch, and basically, here's what happened. Again, they were legally forced to pay me for the sponsorship because I didn't do anything wrong, and it was the terms of the agreement. But basically what Twitch said was, well, it's obvious DSP is always going to get this harassment no matter what he does. So we're just going to turn off his dashboard. So they actually had someone, listen to this, they had someone in the company come to my dashboard and hard code it out, meaning my opportunities were always off. They actually had someone do that because they realized I was going to keep taking.
I wish he had evidence of this. I wish there was some sort of email confirmation that this was the case, or he was competent enough to prove it in the fucking code or something, because this sounds like a nonsense hearsay. You know,
the opportunities and making the money
things
and
up. If true based, I agree. I don't want to keep defending Twitch or giving them W's, however you want to call it, but like, that is fucking base.
Actors were going to keep harassing people on social media for it, and they didn't want to get flack for it, so they actually had a coder code my dashboard off. So my dashboard was always empty. And I would contact, at that time, my partner manager from like once a month, and I would say, my dashboard is still empty, I don't understand. And he would say, oh, it has nothing to do with you, you never did anything wrong. It's just that we don't have anything for you right now. There's no opportunities for anyone. And of course, then I would go again to my moderators who were partnered in the program and say, do you guys have opportunities? They'd be like, oh yeah, there's this one, there's this one. I don't have any of them. And it was gone forever. Like literally, it never showed up ever again for me. The dashboard was always empty. And then they got rid of my partner manager. So then I had no one to even talk to about anything. So yeah, this is just, again, that's probably what I would say. A few of the things over the years that 100%.
Imagine wanting to get rid of DSP so bad that you just get rid of the contact he has entirely So there's no way for him to continue to try and reach out. Like, nobody is there to deal with him. Nobody knows who he is. You just just every trace of DSP in the employee mind has to be removed.
Are affected by my detractors, you know what I mean? And it sucks when it happens. Again, it's always something that's not my control. I can't make a bunch of no-life losers not harass people on like Twitter, right? Like, how do I stop that? I can't. But that's, you know, that's how the system works. All these companies are such pussies, and they're so beholden to the system that the moment that they get any kind of little harassment, it's like, gee.
Mind you, the system is people who engage with their product and purchase and spend money. That's who the businesses are being beholden to in this story specifically.
There's 1,000 people who are sending me nasty messages. Why don't I just block them? No, instead it's, well, let's just cut off the association with the guy who literally did nothing because he has a hate mob that follows him around.
But what and this is the part that kills me when DSP says shit like this, is like, the company is not obligated to give a shit about why they're receiving hate about one particular streamer, one individual, whether or not they did or didn't do anything to deserve it. They don't have to care about that. It's actually in their prerogative to not give a fuck about it. They just cut the tie and move on because it takes the least amount of time and is the simplest fucking problem solver. They're not getting anything off of him anyway, aside from negativity. Why would they care? They're just not obligated.
You're basically punishing the person who's being bullied. So you're also bullying the person who's being bullied. How does that solve the problem or make anything better?
Ubisoft is bullying DSP, confirmed. And then he continued to buy their games year after year over and over all of the time. Jesus Christ. He's like a battered housewife.
It doesn't. All it does, it perpetrates more fucking online bullying. But these companies are cowards and pussies and don't ever...
Dude. Sorry.
Smarten or wisen up. They just say, what's the easiest way out of the problem? Just block the guy, right?
43 complaining about online bullying from companies who don't even know who he is.
I would say that's it. That's the limit. Like, I can't really use Patreon, okay, to do much. I can't get any sponsorships or things like that. They'll never work because the online harassment will always persist. I can't stop that from happening. And in the case of, for example, a suggestion yesterday where someone says, hey, can you leave your streams archived? And I'm like, I'll do that for you. That sounds like a good idea. And then I can't because I'm immediately going to get harassed and have problems. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing I can really do about it. So, you know, but what's remarkable, quite frankly, is that here I am in 2026. I am doing better than I've ever done before. And I mean that. I'm doing better today than I did back in the day when I was popular on YouTube and was getting 10 million views a month. I'm serious. I'm doing better right now than I was doing then. Okay?
And I do genuinely find this hard to believe because he was making just ridiculous money back in the day off of Machinima. And I just don't see that level of support coming through on a daily basis with the streams. It just does, the math does not work out that way. Unless this is his sneaky, underhanded way of letting everybody know that there's behind-the-scenes support that is so unfathomably large and dented that he can't talk about it or something like that. This has to be pure bullshit and cope. There's just no way.
Making that abundantly clear. I'm doing it with a fraction of the audience that I used to have. So I want you to think about that, how I've persevered through all this bullshit that these idiots are trying to do. You got Wings sitting there on his stream crying that everything's going bad. You got LTG sitting there crying about being demonetized by Kick and everything. I'm doing good.
Meanwhile, he was actually just crying about how he was narrowly avoiding getting demonetized and how he would have lost his whole business. That's actually the segment that we just did but a moment ago. But everybody else is crying and down in the dumps and is living like a lol cow except for him. Just act like 1 second to another, 1 point to another. He can't keep the narrative straight in his own fucking brain. Just the worst storyteller.
Doing really fucking good. And I'm grateful and happy that I am. It was a lot of hard work to do it. Because again, the track that stuff was going 6-7 years ago was this way. And I have completely managed to pull it this way. And that's a great thing. And now things are much better for me, my family, for the business, for everything. And that's it goes hand in hand with you guys sticking it out and persevering through the crap and or seeing through the crap. Particularly the last couple of years, a lot of people having new eyes on me and saying, what the fuck? All that stuff people said about Phil was bullshit. He's improved. He's different. It's not what people say anymore, right? This is such nonsense.
He genuinely is so out of touch with reality, that his takeaway from last year was that everybody on the internet agrees that he's actually like reformed and he's not who he used to be, and everything that everyone said about him was always a lie, and everyone is on his side now. That was genuinely his takeaway from the end of the Kino Casino arc on through Asmon Gold Bump and all of that bullshit. That was actually his takeaway. Fuck me. Insane.
That's completely false. Catch your ban, you fucking idiot. You guys think that he knows what I make. You don't know what I make. None of you know what I make. Not a single one of you on the internet knows what Dark Side Phil makes. You have no fucking clue. At any given moment, we've got a stream going. That stream has ad revenue on it. That stream earns money in the Kick Partner Program. That stream also has super chats, memberships, subs, all coming in. There's tips coming in. You have no fucking clue at any waking moment what kind of money I make. No.
Except he counts it all up on stream every day. He, like, people with YouTube channels can tell you what AdSense kind of looks like. He adds up all of the monetary value that his stream is worth right in front of you on a daily basis. So what aren't we getting? What aren't we understanding? The KCIP program? People can ballpark that too. It's
not anyone but me.
insane.
I'm the only person that knows what I make. And that's a good thing, because it leaves me in control of my destiny.
And like this is technically true. Yes, nobody on the entire planet knows exactly what DSP makes down to the US cent, but it doesn't have to be that specific anyway. If he thinks that is the W, that people can come within pretty close, but not the exact cent, like, sure, man, I fucking guess. If that makes you feel better, if that's the W you want.
You're not a bunch of no-loads on the fucking internet that don't know shit about shit, but they think they know anything. No, I did not make less this year than last year. I'm doing very well for myself right now. It doesn't matter what you want to believe,
Flexing
because
on the
reality is
haters.
different from your very twisted, disgusting fantasy of all the weirdo shit that you talk about every day in your Yellow Bus Discords, okay? One idiot. But people are so dumb. They really just don't understand anything.
Green
They're that
Bus
stupid.
Discord. You got the real
There's no
ones
metric
know.
you can follow to figure out what I make. It doesn't exist. There's no metric that you can look at on any public page that will tell you how much money I make. You're an idiot. You're legitimately stupid. And you believe it because you listen to stupid people who, here's the real truth. The people who don't like me.
Right. That's us. That's you and me this time, not just you guys.
Are the worst, most gullible, most stupid people. Because
Fuck, no, I lied. It's just you. That's not me at all. I lied.
Because they follow people who literally
None of those
lie to them
things are true
daily,
about me.
but they believe it because they're gullible and they make these people money. You see, the people who are really the detractors who make the content about me don't care. They don't care if what they say is real or not. They don't care if they made it up or if it's based on truth. All they care about is your view and your contribution. So you feed their animal. You feed their system a
You
lie.
feed the animal. Well, you do kind of feed the animals sometimes. Like they sometimes they need litter and they need food. They need a house to stay in. So I guess sometimes, but nah, it's pretty much just about joking and having fun. That was the point. But
Is it
sure.
misinformation?
DSP once again projecting his money concerns onto every detractor. He can't imagine making content because you want to have fun. It's only to make money.
None of it affects me because I'm doing good, but you believe the nonsense and you reward the liars. And then you think that, oh, we got one up on Phil. You didn't get anything on me. I'm good. I'm still good. I'm always good. You're the one who's miserable. You're the wretch who sits there on the internet watching lies all day and paying money to morons. These people are using you and abusing you. They see your mental illness and they take advantage of it. They're exploiting you. They're literally exploiting you this very minute.
Yeah, projection 9000. Exactly, dude. And like everything he says about a detractor is actually just 100% about him in every way possible. And he's debunking himself in this way. No wonder he's so unlikable.
And you don't get it because you're so dumb.
Yeah, I'm using and abusing you guys. Sorry.
Twist Gloomy, I have no idea what you're
it's
talking
tough
about,
out
but thanks for
there.
the money. I'll gladly take your money.
Sorry, I just punched the microphone pet in the cat.
I don't berate people who work 9 to 5s. I've been there, I've done that, and I know that it's an awful grind to do. I absolutely hate it. You know,
bro, listen to this unemployed individual talking about how unpleasant a 9 to 5 is. I could believe this shit, but like, you know what I mean? Absolutely unreal the way this guy talks about having a job.
I don't berate people who work 9 to 5s. I've been there, I've done that, and I know that it's an awful grind to do. I absolutely hate it, you know, for sure. Here we go. You ready?
I hate it. It's an absolute grind. Just Again, unemployable. Could never make it out here.
Ad revenue way down. Wrong. My ad revenue is exactly the same. My ad revenue hasn't changed whatsoever. It's the same. It actually doesn't fluctuate much at all. You always get a boost at the end of the year, and then it dips in January, and then it stays the same the rest of the year. That's a lie. Video on-demand views way down. Wrong. My on-demand views are exactly the same. Every month I get about the same amount of views. There's some peaks and some valleys depending on what I'm doing, but for the most part, they're exactly the same. Nope.
Yeah, exactly the same for the past 2 years when they've been the lowest they've ever been in the history of DSP gaming. Dude, that's not a flex. That's not a W. Because they've plateaued at rock bottom is not a win.
No change there. Live support way down. Wrong. My live support's doing very, very well, actually, especially since I abolished the goals. I don't talk about goals and shit all the time. It's actually doing better. But you don't know that because you're an idiot and you listen to the wrong people. You get 300 views a video. So that might be the one thing that's correct out of everything you just said, because views are public facing. Except you're an idiot and you don't understand that I get views on the YouTube stream, I get views on the Kick stream, I get residual views on the Kick stream because that stays live for a week, and then
nobody is watching that shit, bro. I'm telling you right now, nobody is going back on Kick to watch DSP streams. They barely watch him there live. They're not going back to watch the VOD.
I get the on-demand views on the individual video. So when you see a video and it's like part 1 of a playthrough, 1,000 views. Yes, that one time was 1,000, but there was views on the original stream. There was views on the Kick stream. I'm getting tons of views on all my content. It's just not all in one place. So you look at that and you say, oh, he only got 300 views. Yeah, except I got paid. So what the fuck do I care what the views are on the video? I don't. My ad revenue is remaining around the same.
Who cares if people actually go and enjoy the content and watch it? I have already received all of my financial compensation. Who gives a shit about the product, bozo? Fuck you.
Overall views are remaining around the same.
We're making
and
right
my live streams are making tons of money. I'm in the Kick Partner program. I got ad revenue. I got everything. I'm good. I'm made. I don't have these problems that these other people have. I'm not worried about, oh no, I have to, I hate to say it, but I really feel bad for a guy like Wings. Because what he did to his channel screwed him. When he deleted all...
He feels bad for a guy like Wings. As if he's really in any better of a position. Like, I guess he's not obese like Wings. He's not on the SSRIs like Wings. That's a W, I guess. I think Wings owns his modular home, though, even if it's on a verbal agreement with his mom. He's not paying fucking gated community condo style dues. Okay, I think that's a Wings W.
All of his content.
He has an emergency fund. He paid for his own. Wait, did he pay for his? He paid for his own surgery, didn't he? Or did he? No, he took that money. Never mind. He paid for his wife's cancer treatment or whatever. Even though he beats up on her and pushes her down in front of everybody.
And he doesn't have any content basically archived there. So he only makes ever what he makes on a stream. He makes nothing else. And I feel bad about that because he should be earning all that back end and he gets nothing, right? He gets nothing.
Yeah, he should be earning
That's
royalties.
the thing that I've always
DSP.
had, this archive where people will go back and
he
watch the
bought
old
his
stuff. And then they
dream
watch
car, the Mustang V6. I mean, when's the last time DSP bought his dream anything?
New stuff. So at any given moment, there's this big machine working for me in my favor. And Wings doesn't have that. He only has the current live streams. That sucks ass for him. Like, I feel for him. That's bullshit, So it really stinks that he doesn't have that. And that's why he's so stressed out on his streams. Like, seriously. That's exactly why. But that's why you have to understand, despite the fact that...
But Wings told him that he made doctor money playing fucking a touch butt on Lol Cow Live. He made buku bucks and he could always go back. He acknowledged that himself. So even though he's crying and seething on stream about how little people actually care for his content when he's solo, he has an option to make money and still has savings. DSP can't say that. He has nothing. He owns nothing aside from fucking knickknacks and goddamn gamer lights.
People categorize me in with these other lolcows. I'm nothing like them. I'm doing much better. And that was purposeful. That was intended. That was by design. And it was a lot of hard work to get to that point, but I'm there. You see?
Yeah, you're right. He owns wrist rests. My bad. How
Yeah,
can
I know,
forget?
Roy.
Our greatest achievement in life is owning like 13 fucking wrist rests for some reason.
He did a $5 super chat and he says, it's sad what these detractors do. You lost mods, your sponsors. You can't leave archive streams. Yeah. And the thing is, again, they will be like, oh, this is a big W. We won. We did something. What W? I'm just doing exactly what I've been doing and being successful doing all along. Sure, it sucks that I can't do the next cool thing that people wanted.
There's the W right there. Congratulations. You figured it out. You said the part that is the W. They stopped you from doing something that you would have found interesting and the new hotness that people would be interested in. Congratulations. You were played.
I would have loved to leave the stream's archive, but I can't.
You would have loved to do something, and then it was made so that you could not by people that you cannot control. W.
What can I do? But I'm still good. I just keep doing what I was doing anyway. No problem. No negative change for me, but right? That's life.
I got the drip double. I got
All right. So that's life. That's just the way she has to be. Now you would think after 2 banana song crash outs, and then the rant about detractors and how they flag him and they control his life in every way, you'd think we would be done. But that would be untrue, because we just can't let this shit go for some reason. We can't just let it pass.
What's going on, Abdullah? Abdullah just did a $4.90 super chat, and he says, can you sing the banana song maybe using the voice changer? Ha ha ha. Sure. The thing is, I still don't remember it. Like, how does it go? It goes, I want...
Thank you, Pat Noticer, for the 5, saying, you don't get it. DSP may have no savings, but Dragon Quest hit the goal the other day. He's successful. I fucking guess, dude. If that's where we're drawing the line on success, I fucking guess. Sure, DSP is successful. You got me.
Banana, tasty banana. Put banana in my mouth, squeeze the peel, here comes the nana. That's how it goes, right?
Yeah, he's in his striped pajamas cosplay.
Yeah. I think that's it. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Ready? So
I want banana, tasty banana, put it in my mouth and no.
That's not it. It goes, I want banana, tasty banana.
Yo, put it in my mouth is crazy. He's just making it worse by pretending to not know, dude.
No, how does it go? I remember the last part, squeeze the peel, in comes the nana. But what's the middle part? I want banana, tasty banana. I don't remember it. I can't remember it. I don't remember it.
Now, please mind you, in the past week, he's heard the song at least 5 different times. Maybe even 6.
Oh, that's it? It's I want banana, tasty banana, put banana in my mouth, squeeze the peel, in comes the nana. It's just such a not a song. It's not a song. You know what I mean? That's why I don't remember it. It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't sound good. So I can't remember the lyrics. Yeah.
He can't even remember the lyrics, but he's absolutely positive he didn't say the thing that he clearly said.
It's not catchy at all. I don't know why you guys think it's good. It's literally not catchy to me at all. And I have a mind that latches onto jingles and stuff. Like, I can still remember commercial jingles that I heard on TV.
Guys, my brain is specifically designed to pick up on all of the marketing and remember it and fall for it all of the time. That is what I was designed to do. And this jingle just isn't sticking with me, therefore it's not good.
As a kid, I remember them pitch perfect, accurate lyrics and everything. But I don't remember this banana.
Accurate lyrics. He thinks he's some sort of jingle savant because he can remember the Credit Karma fucking ad.
Song at all.
Or freecreditreport.com. That's what I was looking for. Make sure you tell your friends and your dad and your mom or whatever. Okay, we're waiting. It's not paused, I promise. He's just looking. He's scouring. He's searching for deniers, for real banana enjoyers.
Okay, let's try it again. Ready?
Okay. I want banana, tasty banana, put banana in my mouth, squeeze the peel.
And then he's got to do the fucking dick suck emote too. Why can't he just do the banana song? Just do it as the lyrics are written out. And please don't do cock stroking emotes in the middle of it. Look at this.
Okay, let's try it again. Ready?
Okay. I want banana, tasty banana, put banana in my mouth, squeeze the peel, in comes the nana.
There you go. I think I got it right.
He's gay.
Did I get it right?
He loves BBC.
I think I did. Wrong? What do you mean wrong? That's right. I did it correctly. Oh, hold on. All right, you want Satan to sing it. Okay, here we go.
I want banana, tasty banana, put banana in my mouth, squeeze the peel, in comes the banana.
There you go. Satan, you
The
want
extra performative Satan version is really cringe. He's got the little dance back and forth and the little finisher. Look at this.
Banana, put banana in my mouth, squeeze the peel, in comes the banana.
What a show.
There you go.
What a
You want Satan to
performer.
sing it. Perfect. Okay. What are you talking about? You wanted me to sing the song, and I sang the song multiple times in multiple cadence. There you go. Perfect.
Okay, we're waiting. We're searching. We need positive
I didn't make the
affirmation.
subtitles in the highlight clip. One of my editors did, and he based it off of the detractor meme. That was the point.
Well, the point was to be wrong like the detractors. Oh, okay. I see. Our dented editor did this on purpose. He was maybe even a troll himself. Fuck it. Go all the way with it, DSP. NWO News with the two saying deeply repressed, depressed, and poorly dressed. That's true. All three of those, impressively put, are true.
Actual subtitle on
Big
YouTube
ups.
acknowledges that the word in there isn't a real word and deletes it and doesn't even recognize it. So it doesn't matter what your mentally challenged brain formulated the word was over the years and you programmed yourself to think that's what it was. That's not what it was. You're wrong.
You
I'm the person who
programmed
said it,
yourself
not
to
you.
think that.
When I watched the clip back, I put myself in that position. I'm like, that's right. I was trying to make a joke about in comes the banana, but there was too many syllables. So I just cut the first syllable off and said, in comes the nana. But I said it so fast, it sounds like I'm bumbling over my words. I remember specifically doing it.
See? Dude, no fucking way. The guy who's for fucking years say, I don't know anything about that song. I don't even know what you're talking about. I can't remember singing that song in Donkey Kong 64. It never happened. What are you talking about? I don't remember that. There's no way you're going to fucking sit here and tell me that you watched the fucking song for the how many millionth fucking time he's seen it by now. He's seen it multiple times by now. You watched it again and you put yourself in the headspace and you figured out what your logical process was at the time for something that you don't even remember happening. I'm not fucking buying it. No goddamn way. This is just bullshit nonsense cope.
So I know what it was. You don't. You're an idiot.
And it's just the same argument over and over and over again, too. Like, this is 3 different days from these clips that we're looking at. He just can't let this go. He's already said everything he has to say on the matter.
Why my editor base it off the detractors? Because that was the point. The point was to take the meme and own it and turn it into part of my content. So that's why we have the dancing banana emote. That's why we had the I want banana tasty banana song sound effect as a contribution pop-up sound effect for the Donkey Kong Bonanza playthrough last year. You know, we basically owned it. Made it out.
Owned it. Okay. So that is, for now, the end of the banana song style arc. I have one more clip. The stream is almost over. Sorry for anybody who's just now showing up or needs infinite content. I don't do that. This last segment is a shorter one, but I wanted to include it because, again, I think it really emphasizes how odd DSP is and how he has an excuse for anything, even if it doesn't make sense. Not that this is new by any means,
One of
but
my goals
still very odd that he's
to
doubling
be to
down.
travel to Italy. Well, as I've said,
Tripling down, maybe.
Here's the thing. This is the truth. I said this time and time again. Right now, my life is dramatically better than it has been in many, many years. The thing that's holding me back from doing travel with my wife is Jasper Kitty. It's not financial means or anything. Right now, we could easily get on a plane and fly anywhere that we wanted. We could.
I don't know that you could easily get on a plane. Some of the aisles are a bit narrow and the seatbelt's a bit tight. Just a heads up, as somebody that's been on a plane recently, some of them aren't the biggest thing you've ever seen.
It's just a matter of that we have a cat that's an incredibly needy cat who doesn't like other people. All right? And that's on us because that's the cat that we decided to rescue and take in. And we love him to death. But our life is limited by our pet.
Love him to
You know,
death.
he just does not get along with other humans. We've tried to bring in people to, you know, him to get used to. Let me put it this way. Okay? Let me put it this way. Jasper Kitty, the moment another person comes into the house, runs and hides. Whether it's under our bed, whether it's behind the couch. And he will not come out for 2 hours after they leave. He absolutely hates other humans. When the Amazon delivery guy shows up to deliver a package on the front porch, he hisses at it. Okay? Now, he absolutely loves and adores us, but he is very, very much.
Yeah, most cats do this. My cats. So I went on vacation recently. Guess what? I didn't take 4 cats with me to the fucking Bahamas. That did not happen. We were not in the Caribbean Sea with 4 cats in the room. That wasn't it, Chief. My mom watched the cats. Sometimes the cats do scurry under the bed and hide until after she leaves. That's fine. Who gives a shit? They just come out and eat the food and drink the water after you're gone. That's it. That's literally all that has to happen. It doesn't have to be any more complicated than that.
Much one of that kind of cat where if we were to, let's say we were to decide, let's go on a trip for a week, right? He would be traumatized, right? Even if we hired someone to take care of him or we had him room and board, they have places you can have cats go and they'll take care of him for you.
I'm a bad cat dad, I guess. Like I said, my mom came by. She pet them when she saw them. They like her.
He's going to be traumatized. And we don't want to do that to him for the sake of us having a good time. It's not that we don't want to have a good time. We do. We've made some interesting plans around things that we're talking about we want to do when the opportunity arises for us. But it's just not going to happen when we have Jasper Kitty. And again, when we took in Jasper, life was very different for us. We were in a very bad financial situation. It didn't look like we were ever going to get out of it. We were kind of accepting that. And so it wasn't a big deal to take in a cat that was basically a housebound cat.
Wait, so they were in a really bad financial situation that they thought that they would never get out of, and they were in such dire straits, so they decided to take on and take care of a living animal that might have medical needs, survival necessities such as food and shelter and water. They thought that that was a good idea to take on while they had debt they thought they would never financially recover from. Okay.
Fronty clawed. We rescued him now.
I mean, you have to be dirt fucking poor to not be able to take care of the cat, but DSP didn't know how he was going to pay his mortgage. He had back taxes that the government was trying to collect on. Like,
we knew that he was going to be a more needy case. And we thought, well, in our life situation, we're not doing anything else. We can be great parents to this cat. Okay. And so we took him in. And now we are handling that with as much responsibility as we should. A lot of people give us shit. You guys give us shit and say, that's ridiculous. Why would you put your life on hold for your cat? Because that's the responsibility we took when we rescued him. I think a lot of pet parents don't get that when you take any pet into your home, you are now responsible for that pet to be a loving parent and to give them the best life you can. Now,
and I think that this whole segment here, this mentality is a direct result of this being 2 middle-aged, we'll call them, style individuals that don't have kids and maybe wanted kids at a point. If we believe what he told PPP, which is hard to do, but maybe they wanted kids at one point and can no longer have them, so this is the next best thing. This is where their minds have gone, even if it's not necessarily like a conscious thing on their behalf. The pet parent thing because they can't be real parents. Many of such cases.
Oh, I have a pet, but now that pet is just a belonging that I own. And I do with it as I want. So, yeah, I took in the pet, but fuck it. If I want to go on a vacation for 2 weeks, I don't give a shit if that pet doesn't like humans. Let it be with other humans and get fucking traumatized. I don't give 2 shits because I want to go on vacation. And then when I'm back from vacation, if the cat's fucked up forever, who cares?
The cat is fucked up forever because you left for a week. I mean, that is the most fragile cat I've ever heard of in my life. I think that cats as an animal are much less needy than that, I would say. That is incredibly dramatic.
No, we're not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? We're not.
Yeah,
we're not going to do that. We're going to treat him with love and respect.
Because DSP was gone
for as long as we have him, as long as we can have him, and then things will change differently down the road, I'm sure. Like we've already talked about it, that once Jasper is no longer with us, probably we're going to want to do stuff. We're going to want to go do this and do that, have that opportunity to do a bunch of things we've never done together because now we can. And then once you do it and you get it out of your system, then maybe talk about getting more pets. Maybe we would want a dog or something like that. I don't know.
Enjoying your life and seeing things outside of your standard local area is apparently something that you get out of your system and no longer want to do after you do it. According to DSP, I guess if that's the mentality you have. I'm not a big traveler myself, but I don't know that it's something that people just want to do and then they get it out of their system and move on.
But that's just kind of the life situation we're in right now. All right, so we're not talking about traveling the world. We're not thinking about saving up for a trip. It's not possible right now.
Oh yeah, Nexu, he's really, and I think that's probably the most fucked up part about this entire thing is that they are already planning on what they're going to do when Jasper dies. Which, I mean, all animals die eventually. It's a sad thing, fact of life. But like, to already be planning all of the fun activities that you're going to be free to do after a member of your family that you love dies is crazy work. That's kind of sociopathic if I'm gonna exaggerate a little bit.
Okay, it's just not. It's, you know, long term, would I like to do it? Sure. Can't do it. Right? So that's it. And that when you guys keep bringing it up, you're gonna go on a honeymoon, you're gonna travel, you're gonna do that. No. And when you bring it up, all you're doing is wasting time because we're not thinking about it. It's not something that we're considering. Jasper's more important to us than that right now. All right? Eventually that will change.
We're not thinking about it. We're not considering it, except he just told you that they've already had the conversation and they've already thought about how they could do things after Jasper dies. Back-to-back lies, bro.
Obviously, that's just part of life and being a pet owner. But for now, we're enjoying our life with Jasper Kitty. Okay? Hope that makes sense. See, and there you go. People are being dicks. Well, then fuck you. If you don't like the answer to the question, then don't ask the fucking question. Right? Because I've given the answer before. If you want to treat your pets with disrespect and not give them the love and attention that you promised them when you took them in, that's your choice. Like, I can't stop you from being a bad pet parent, but that's our choice to make, and that's the choice we've made, and either respect it or shut the fuck up, because we don't care about your opinion.
We don't care about your opinion. I'm just addressing it right here live on stream all the time, every time it gets mentioned. Full Christian name in chat saying, to be honest, and to be fair, my parents would tell me about all the things they were going to do when I was finally in college and out of their hair. Yeah, they weren't waiting for you to fucking die, though. Like, that's where I'm drawing the line. It's one thing to be, when you're in school, we're going to do this. When you're in college, when you're out of the house and moved out, we're going to do this. When you're in college, we're going to do this. Then when my son fucking dies, we're finally going to be able, we can finally buy that Corvette we've been waiting for, honey. We got the life insurance check. Like, what the fuck? That's sick.
It's that simple. Trust me, we've had situations where things we were considering and things we tried. So we actually had a person who came to
counting the days until they can move to fucking Myrtle Beach or whatever because your dumbass died. Huh? What?
House. And the idea was to try to get Jasper used to another human. Okay? To get a person who was going to come by, and this is going to be the person who was going to take care of Jasper when we were gone. And it was a disaster. It was an absolute disaster. He wouldn't eat. He wouldn't come out. He was scared to death. It's not going to work. You know, it's not going to work. And there's nothing we can do about it. We've accepted it at this point. We're like, well, that's it for now. You know, things will change in the future. But for now, it is what it is. So
DSP also pretending as though because Jasper didn't want to interact with the human that was there, this random person, that he would never want to interact with this person and also would never come out to eat or drink his water or go to the bathroom simply because DSP wasn't there. As if Jasper is not going to explore the house, like I'm sure he does all of the time when they are gone. That's not how it works.
It's not going to change. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you asking us and pestering us questions like that, the answer's never going to change. It's not going to one day, well, we changed our mind now, and now we're going on a vacation. No, it's not going to happen. So, that's true too. Rose Diamond says, some pets are more high maintenance than others. When you don't raise them from the start, they have quirks that you need to work around. It's understandable. We don't know what happened to Jasper.
Jasper's got quirks.
We don't know
He's
why
a real
he was
quirk
in that
chungus.
rescue shelter. We don't know why he's only front declawed. That is so bizarre.
It's not that bizarre at all. A lot of people that declaw only the front because it's cheaper than doing all of them, and the front ones are typically the ones they use on the furniture. It's not a complicated thought process at all. I wouldn't do it myself, but the logic is there. It does check out. It's not that weird.
Only front declawed. Why only front declawed? That doesn't even make sense. Like, if people who declaw cats will declaw the cat completely, so the cat has no chance of scratching anything up in the house. Why only front declaw? He very well could be traumatized that, you know, his original owners were awful to him and abandoned him, and he was found somewhere, and we don't know. Funny. So we're not going to do that to him. Okay. Well, I know. The reason people declaw cats is because they don't want them destroying their furniture. They don't want them attacking their kids or clawing up a baby. Like, they have reasons for it, right? We would never do that. If we were to have a cat and we had it from the beginning, we would...
No, we wouldn't have nice furniture or a baby, so we wouldn't have to worry about that.
never front declaw, back declaw, ever declaw a cat. We know how horrible it is. We know how traumatizing it is. Changes the cat's life. We took on that responsibility when we rescued Jasper. We were told he was front declawed. We were told he can never defend himself. He cannot get into fights. He can never go outside. He's got to be a permanent indoor cat. That's a big responsibility you got to live with. So we said, all right, we're gonna take that on, you know? Exactly. It's like taking their finger off. The way that they...
The fact he made all this bullshit up because he's too scared to go outside is crazy work. I agree. Imagine having to tell the entire internet that as a 43-year-old man, you're incapable of leaving your own house and experiencing travel and other locations because you're too scared your cat might have negative thoughts and feelings while you're away. I mean, that's... I don't know. Maybe do I just not value my cat's opinions enough? Like I came back and they seemed just fine. But I forgot DSP's a special snowflake, and so is fucking declawed Jasper.
describe it is that it's like taking off your knuckle. Like imagine if someone removed this part of your finger, this whole front part of the finger, and all you had was from the knuckle down. That's what declawing a cat does. You're cutting off the whole front part of all of their fingers.
My cat's sitting in my lap right now. This one was actually, yeah, okay. So that was the end of the segment. Sorry. This cat was the most happy to see me back. She missed the streams. She's the gamer cat. But speaking of gamer cats, me as well. And that's probably where I'm going to go right now because the stream is over. Thank you all so much for showing up to the stream. I really appreciate all of your time. I hope I entertained you for whatever you were doing on your Saturday morning, afternoon style session. Thank you, Tezosaurus, for the 2 right before we leave, saying DSP adopted a dented cat to depend on him. Tracks. Yeah, it goes in with the feeder thing, I think. Just get people that are a little broken and need to be managed a little bit, and all of a sudden they're dependent on you. Odd. Crazy, right? So thank you so much for showing up. I really appreciate it. I don't think we're on for WPIG, just telling you now. So if I don't see you till next week for Saturday again, I hope you all stay safe and stay blessed. Big ups. Good.